think it's
4-0 to Debbie Logan.
yeah, Debbie.
Logan.
Yes, I could see the 4, but couldn't see the other. You might perhaps.
Sorry, you want to have a quick view on
And
Okay.
and 3-0 on the next game. See, it's Mackay on 0.
Robbie's going to try and angle that.
I'll actually give you something here
Yeah.
that will give you all that info.
Okay, so back to our main game here. Margaret McAdam was her first bowl, was a very lovely shot, just a little wee more than a foot or so behind the jack. And she's coming in with her second one now. Pamela Cordes is asking, will the Bribey Island ladies be live? Well, that's in the lap of the gods, Pam. We at the media team have no say in what game is going to be live streamed. So that's something I can't answer. We're on rink 4 here at the moment, and the match committee will be directing traffic and telling us who is going to be playing on the rink that we are streaming from. So I have no idea of being able to tell you, but at the very least we'll be giving you updated scores.
Okay, there's rink 1.
Okay. Oh, rink 1. We have Debbie Logan, and we have Glennis Reid.
Yeah, they can read that. Just tell them it's rink 1.
4-0 on rink 1.
Yep.
And then on rink 2 is, let me see, Jean Messina and Dennis, yes, leading 3-0 on rink 2 after 2 ends. And that is going to be blocked off a bit, but the score is 2-1, if you can read that as best you can.
That's 1-1 that game.
Is it? Oh, that was on 2 ends, yeah. After 2 and 1-1. Okay, folks, well, that's the best we can do for you, and you will be, no doubt, wanting to check those as we move along. Okay, so now, this is Wendy, I believe, her bowl coming in. Her second bowl, she played a lovely shot with her first, and she's played an equally great bowl with her second. Oh, that's
Lorelle.
I've got that mixed around.
That's all right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Here
know
comes.
Lorelle pretty well from
Yep.
many years at Bundaberg
Okay.
area.
And Barbara's gone through the head there, so it's
She didn't,
Elliott
want,
heads are obviously holding 1. It could be 2.
she didn't want to be short of it. There's not much
No.
to get from being
No,
short of
there's
that.
not. Yeah. Okay. So this is the third end, folks, and the girls having a very good tussle at this stage. Jimmy, you've been outside there. The breeze is not much to speak of, is it?
It's got a little bit of Toowoomba in it.
Has it? Yeah.
It's just a little cooler than you get at the beach at Bagara. But let me say, it's
Oh, what a great shot that is. Look, have a look at that from Wendy. She's played a lovely bowl there. She's not only has she got a toucher, but she's sitting right in behind it there, and more than likely we would think it would be 3 shots.
something wrong if that's not 3.
Well, she's moved the kitty certainly sideways enough to bring that front bowl to be a certain counter, you would think.
Very nice way to start
Oh,
the game.
and then look, there's a lovely reply too from
She's still 2, the
from
skip signal.
Barbara, yeah. Okay, so
I don't really know the 2 Taroom ladies.
lots of these ladies, Jimmy, are not known by me, but
I better be a bit impartial.
we've got to be, haven't we?
Got to be a bit impartial. Just can't cheer for my own district all the time.
Okay. No, you're allowed to, but you've got to do it quietly. So Wendy's come in behind there, and I think that she wouldn't be overly disappointed with the fact that she's got a back bowl there.
No, that's a very hard situation to get out of here
Well,
for
it
the
is.
Taroom girls.
Barbara's got. She's coming back behind as well, but it looks as though certainly the Elliott Heads ladies are holding 2. You would think.
The Taroom skip signalled 2 down.
Yeah. So the bowl on the right, the darker coloured bowl on the right hand side, would appear to be third shot. Fiona Hall is one of our regular viewers, and good morning, Feasel. It's always lovely to have you with us, dear. One of the backbone members of the Mudgee Barb Bowls Club on the Gold Coast.
Yes, we keep up with what Fee's doing on her Facebook page.
Well, we
she
all
punches
do.
there more regularly than you do, I think, Gary.
Oh, no, I think I've won that title.
No, she's pretty good.
Now, here comes Lorelle again, and she's gone whoop-da-doop-da, and she might have turned her... Well, she's turned her front bowl back, but she's played 3 sensational bowls.
She was just trying to roll that back to make 4.
Yeah, of course she was. Now, goodness gracious, we've got a blockage of view here. So I can't tell you what's happened, but she
crashed into the
she's
head.
made contact.
The kitty's out,
and the kitty sprung.
The kitty's out on the sideline.
Yeah, well, whatever happened there, it was a great shot from Barbara because she was at least 2 down. And now Robbie's up out of his seat, and
she's 1 down.
He's going to hit this lady with a brick bat. He's got the 42.
No, he's not.
I've got to tell Margaret to
try this one out.
Oh, have a look at this from.
Try that one out for 4 bowls.
Look at that from Lorelle. Well, that's exactly right, Jim. She's played 3 sensational shots, and now she capped it off with changing her hand, and she's come back again.
This one's got a nice grasp, but it's.
Yeah, I think
it's a draw grass.
She's quicker than Usain Bolt here, isn't she? Yeah, she's gone.
I think it's
drink.
2, but we might have a look for 3.
Yes, they got the tape out.
And we've got a little 2 down signal from the.
Yeah, 2 down. They've
the
indicated,
Taroom.
but they got the tape and they're having another crack here.
Yeah.
Yep, 2 it is. Okay, so that's good bowling, girls. Everyone's got to appreciate that because there were some lovely bowls played there.
I was asked if it was going to rain, and I said no, but I only know the Bundaberg area, so I asked Mr. Green, and him being an expert in the Toowoomba area, and he said no rain today.
No rain today. Well, we haven't had any rain so far.
He's been right for about 3 years.
Thanks. Jay Globitz is Joel. I haven't heard from Jay for quite some years, and he said, now you answer that, Jimbo. What did he say about you?
Sounds a bit rusky. I haven't had any ruskies. Don't you worry about that.
He might need a Bagara sunrise.
Yeah, Jay knows what a Bagara sunrise is.
I bet that's something nice.
I haven't introduced you to a Bagara sunrise yet, Gary.
No, I'm not sure that I want to try one. Whatever that is.
We've got a few scores here from upstairs.
Oh, how good's that?
After 2 ends. After 2 ends, we have Williams from Nanango, 2-3. They're playing against Marion, 3-2 on 2 ends. Jason Moore and O'Neill from Hamilton are 5-0 up against Styles from Marlin Coast. Hawley with Johnny Martin and Craig Hall are 1-1 with Rice and Howie. That's the big game, obviously. And Jay Singh has got away with a 3-0 lead for the locals from Toowoomba playing the Summit. Capelli from the Summit. Only 2 ends down, so they're only really measuring up what the others look like.
Exactly. Well, they just started, haven't they?
Well, they've figured out how ugly the opposition is. That's all.
They're probably only just shaking hands. Okay, so our score, I think, should be
2 pretty good lead bowls there.
Yeah, 2-3, Robbie, should it, perhaps?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I know. It was not often I
Hasn't been done on the board.
Not often I get to chastise buddy Robbie, but he slipped. He's got it right now.
I'm looking at the board, see?
Yep.
Yeah,
The
we
board
were
said-
too,
the
but we
board-
can't update the screen here.
The board says 2-1.
Yes, it does.
You can't get up the boss too much.
Oh, no. He gets very cranky.
You're just in a good position that you can't get the bullet today. You can't get the bullet today while Brian's out ordering a green.
No, well, my co-commentator Brian has he's got other things to do and more important.
Well, he's got to try and work one day a week.
Well,
hasn't
he does. In district, he's got district appointments and all sorts of things. And Warren Downey has said commentating is a pleasure to listen to. Well, thank you, Warren. That's very nice of you to say that.
Tell you what, I'd like to meet him.
Yeah, so would I. Yeah. Well, he guaranteed a couple of schooners, didn't he? On your walker. And Deanne Robertson's watching. Morning, Diesel. Sean Ingham. Good morning, Shawnee boy.
Nugget, you out of bed?
Yeah, well, he'll be here. He's got to be out of bed soon because
He's got
he's
a
going to
couple-
be here in 2 days.
He's got a couple of days to get up.
Yep. Okay, so now here we have... oh, that's a lot.
Pretty close.
Oh, yes, there's not much in that, is there, Jim?
Uh,
That's Lorelle Campbell with a... Oh, no, it's the second bowl, isn't it?
It's a real Hofstetter.
That's her, Lorelle Hofstetter. And it's a bit of a mixture here. Now, here's a great shot coming in too, but it's just going to be a bit short. It's not easy to tell from where we are, and what you're looking at is what we're looking at. So, folks, there's you can only make your own. You can only make your own opinion there.
Lorelle's been somewhere abouts for the last 5 out of 6 bowls. I'm sure her husband Barry will claim
Well,
some sort of victory there.
well, Lorelle's probably the one who's jumped onto the first, hasn't she, Jim?
She's been
Yeah.
shining at the
She
start
has
of this
indeed.
game, even though it's only a 3-2 scoreline.
Okay, Daryl Smith is watching from Harvey Bain. He says, hi, Jim C.
Hello, Dazzling Darryl,
Thanks, Daryl.
famous father of Timmy Smith.
Okay. And Nugget says he'll be there tomorrow, Arvo. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you, Nugs.
Thanks for the warning.
Yeah, we're all going to go home early. Make sure we miss you.
You're not supposed to say that.
No, he's a good bloke.
Let's
I
get
love
back
him.
to the game here.
Yeah, for sure.
Lorelle plays a lot of bowls with her husband, of course. Barry
yeah.
Hofstetter is pretty, well, I better be nice and say famous footballer in the Bundaberg area. So
Okay.
a couple of years ago now.
Yeah.
I was only a boy, so it's a little bit ago.
Yeah, so all of these extra little things that you're bringing to the commentary, Jimmy, are very much appreciated.
I make them up as I go along.
Oh, you can do that. I mean, so long as you don't swear. But that introducing to Matt yesterday was the local police officer. That was something that, you know,
well,
what the people like to know.
I gave him a bit of warning about it would be on when he was leaving last night after
Yep.
collecting his runners-up medal.
Okay, yeah. Yes, we'll talk a little more about that later during appropriate break, folks, about the fact that the fours competition was conducted over Saturday and Sunday, and that's all been completed. And for those of you that don't know the winners of that, we'll certainly be filling you in during the appropriate period of the morning. Okay, so now the Skips are heading up to play their final 2 bowls,
Werner?
and
Yeah.
we're not entirely sure who's holding shot here. The camera and the umbrella you can see there, folks, on the right-hand side of your screen is the third camera that comes into use when appropriate length ends are played, and we can bring you close-up view from the side on of either head. It is adjustable and well,
I don't think the two ladies would normally stand that far apart unless they'd
Well-
been told not to stand in front of the camera.
well, they have been, and like when I went and spoke to them earlier, now what's happened here? Oh, that's changed things around a bit. And
She's played another
now,
bomb. She's
Elliott,
got shot out of
yes,
it.
she has indeed. And I think she was down before she played that. So,
Yep.
So Elliott Heads girls would be holding 1, but Barb's going to have something to say about that if she's got the weight here, and I believe she might be close. And she's just going to fall up short.
That's when you say find your own way in through those.
Yeah, exactly.
Through that little picket fence, you draw another shot, but I don't know how.
Okay, so Wendy's he's indicated that perhaps the safer hand might be a forehand, but no. Lorelle Hofstetter has decided to come on the backhand.
She's going to be behind anyway,
I think she will be.
Somewhat behind, perhaps.
Yep, so this is very close at this stage, folks, as you can see. Close game we have. We expect that, though, Jim, don't you, with the quality of the bowlers we have here?
Well, they've won a lot of games to get this far.
Of course they have. Well, we mentioned that yesterday, that a lot of these now, okay, so there's another one to Elliott heads there, and that takes them to 4-2. We mentioned, oh, sorry, go ahead.
A little bit unlike the fours, which were Tweed heads teams were that we better not say top heavy, but they were $1.10 favourite in both events.
Well, you would have thought so.
Favourites don't always win.
No, they don't.
There wouldn't be any bookmakers.
No.
But these ladies' pairs, I think, is sort of up for grabs who would like to play the best in the next 2 days.
Well, that's it. Wide open affair, isn't it?
Debbie Logan may be favourite, but...
Well, I'm not about to be...
There is very little between all the teams, and it'll be who produces their best games in the 2 days.
That's for sure. And I'm never ever prepared to make a prediction as to who might...
Oh, come on, you always have a bit of a crack at everything.
Well, yeah, you do. And I mean, you might have in your own mind what you might think who could take out the titles, but, you know, it's a commentator's curse if you start flapping your yap too early, isn't it?
Well, in the men's, it looks like Howie and got a pretty ordinary lead in Lurch.
Yeah, well, he doesn't know much about the game, Lurch, does he? Well,
he's just gone and won the Everest over there, and nobody got within 10 shots of him.
He won $50,000, if you don't mind. It certainly beats being on the pension. That's 2 years.
I think Easy Cool had a bit of a controlling share in the money, but Lurch won that so convincingly for the standard. All those games should have been close. The closest anybody got, I think, was Benny Twist, who might have got under 10.
Yeah.
He beat them all pointlessly.
Yeah, but I think, apart from Bowles being the winner, I think Big Damien McKee was the big winner of the whole thing.
Well, you see all the photos, he's still got a smile on his face.
Oh, why wouldn't you?
But the big game, they appear to be the favourites in the men's. But you're not going to sell short the Gracemere crew from my zone, Johnny Martin and Craig Hall, because they had to beat a fairly stiff opposition to get to where they are. They had to beat Nick Carl and Keith Wally.
Yes, they did. Yeah, you mentioned
in
that
the last
earlier.
game, and out at Monto, was played at Monto on perfect green running 18.
Yep.
And they produced that sort of game. The game that's on at present will be very close.
Mm-hmm.
Where we wouldn't say it's close at the moment. It's 1-1 after 2.
Yep. But that was 20 minutes ago, wasn't it?
1-1 after 2 is fairly close, but Royce and Howie do look like the favourites.
Yes, and on the game we have here now is
pretty good shot, that.
Lorelle Hofstetter is I think they're holding 2 now, the Elliott heads girls, and Lorelle at this stage she's really got onto this quicker than the others, although the others aren't playing too bad, but Lorelle seems to be. Oh, there's a lovely shot there from Barbara McDonald from Taroom Club. And, Jim, we should probably, I mean, we've already spoken about the fours, the men's and the ladies that were completed in the last 2 days, but history was created, Jim, in the fact that as far as my record, now look, here comes Lorelle. She's just dropped a bit short, but beautiful line. History was created from the records that I can go back to. It's the very first time in this event where the men and the women of the same club have won the State Boards Championship. Now, you're going to tell me that because you can go back prior to 2001, so you correct me.
I can't remember one that would top dress that.
Now, see, Robbie and I both went through the Bowls Queensland website and we Googled as much as we could, and we both came up with the same information, which
See, 2001, Helensvale Lenny hadn't got Helensvale firing at that stage.
Yeah.
All of the star players played for South Tweed.
Okay, they did indeed.
Gloverts, Casey.
Yeah, and I think they won it, didn't they?
They
2001.
won most things in those days
Yeah.
because the star club, the Gold Coast, was South Tweed.
Well, that's what I'm just saying.
Basically, there was no Broadbeach and no Helensvale. Everybody that was anybody played for South Tweed at that stage.
And they did, and they won it in 2001. Nathan Rice, Sean Roach, Mark Casey and Calvin Kirkow.
Well, strange.
No strange there, is there?
Yeah, well, a lot of people can't remember Sean Roach, but
No, well, I do.
anybody that saw him probably wouldn't forget him.
Well, I certainly remember him.
I can remember him doing some dingo calls one night, Premier League. He let one go and give his little dingo call he used to give out and draw a front toucher when it was about... He'd only left his hand when he'd start barking.
Did he really?
Mm.
Okay, so once again, the Elliott Heads ladies holding shot here, and I think it's only one. Ooh, now that might alter things a bit. I think they've still only got the one.
Look at that. We'll send the boss out to work and find out some scores from the men's.
Oh, is that what you're going to do? Well, I hope nothing breaks down in here, Robbie, because we're off the air.
Well, I'm just going to wait till the scene's finished.
Oh, yeah.
Are they in the last set? No, they've still got 4 bowls.
No, we've still got the skips bowls
Yeah,
to play.
we've still got that. We'll see got some more. Oh, she's just... Poor old Barb, she's got a clip on that front bowl coming in. Not Barb, sorry, it was Margaret. So it appears as though once again that the Elliott Heads girls are holding the one shot there, and the skips have got their bowls to play. Marilyn and Bashar, which club is representing the Gold Coast? Well, actually, Marilyn, the Gold Coast girls were defeated in the zone by Debbie Logan and Glenys Reid. Now they're from... They represent the Gateway District. So, as it turns out, the Gold Coast were defeated in that particular zone playoff by those girls I've just mentioned. So, there's no Gold Coast representation here
For the ladies.
in the ladies' pairs. There could have well been a history-making event with Chloe Stewart, who was the skip with, I believe, Jessica, young Jess Alphabet from down at Tweed Heads.
I say wheelbarrow, you say Alphabet.
But she's a lovely young girl, but surname's so hard to pronounce. You prefer not to have a crack at it in case you get it wrong, and you usually do.
Well, most people can say it's so easy, but you and I don't try hard
No,
enough.
well, I don't. I can't speak that language. But just in answer to Marilyn's inquiry there was a possibility because Chloe Stewart yesterday skipped the Tweed Heads fours to victory. She is also representing the Gold Coast in the singles, which is to commence on Wednesday morning. Now, look, here's another great effort there from Lorelle Hofstetter. And as it turns out that Jess and Chloe could have been here in the pairs as well, but they, as I say, they were defeated by the Gateway girls. So that would have been history in the making.
Is it one or two? Yes, Chloe.
Two shots.
Chloe doesn't get beaten very often.
No, she doesn't.
They got beaten in the state pairs final by Julie Keegan and Caitlin Inch by
Yep.
1 shot. Otherwise, Chloe would have won the whole 3
Yep.
events in the state title.
Oh, of course. And she would have 2 shots it was, Robbie. Robbie's just come back. 2 to the Elliott Heads girls.
6-2 the school B.
Yeah, it should be 6-2. It would have been a monumental thing for Chloe to be here this week representing the Gold Coast in singles, pairs and fours.
Well,
I don't know that's been done before, Jim, but your superior knowledge of these past events.
well, Chloe keeps playing like she is. There's every chance
Well,
she could have or should have won the 3 events in May,
Yeah,
and she went within an ace of representing in the pairs, and
yeah.
she will obviously be the favourite in the singles.
You would think so.
So if the 6 main events that get played for the year, if she wins 4 of them,
Yeah,
one would think that's not a bad sort of effort. Tiger Woods had been happy with that
he certainly would have.
10 years ago.
And
4 out of 6.
we're just about to give you some updated scores. Oh, Nick Carl is watching. Good morning to you, Nico, and congratulations to your boys yesterday on the silver medal in the 4s. We were very impressed with the way you guys played, but you were just a little bit outgunned. But hearty congratulations anyway.
Better than hearty congratulations.
Oh, how happy do you want to be?
The others, the opposition was pretty strong sort of a side, and they won 2 games by 30, and they led 30-4 in the other game. And Nick, with his Bagara side, Bob Scrubbers from the bush,
Yeah.
held them to 7 playing the last end, or 6 playing the last end, which is about as good as anybody could expect any team to run against that little star-sided team.
Absolutely.
Skipped by Turley.
Yeah, well,
Little B grader called Kirko playing second.
yeah, and Maxie Jaffray leading, and
He was all over it.
you got this very young fella called Kurt Brown playing third.
Well, Kurt Brown got man of the match.
Did he?
Mm.
I'll give you some scores. I'll just give you a couple here. Watch these bowls coming down from the girls.
But, Go.
We got Josh Fisher and Dave Williams leading, Wally Clyden and Kerry Ollitt. Oh no, they're Kerry and them are leading 5-4. John Newell and Jason Moore are 7, leading Jason Walford and Mitch Stiles
0.
0. Well, they haven't scored yet
4 ends.
after 4 ends. John Martin and Craig Hall are 2, leading Nathan Rice and Andrew Howie 1 after 3 ends. So that's 1 shot each there, somewhere along the line. Darren Stanley and Robert Capelli from the Summit are 1 shot against Chris Forbes and Jai Singh, who are 6 after 4 ends. And thank you very much for the COE, charge of everything, for giving those scores for us. Thanks, Robbie.
No worries.
So, back to the main game that we're televising.
I was just figuring what time school starts for Nick.
He's probably late. He's going to be late for play lunch if he doesn't get along soon.
But pretty bad to be late for play lunch. You've
Well,
got to be there on time for that.
You've got to be there for that. You can miss.
Did they call it play lunch when you
Oh, that's
went
what
to
we.
school?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
I guess that was in Victoria, wasn't it?
It was indeed.
I guess. Jeez. Well, I don't
And
think.
what do they call it up here?
Oh, we were probably doing some homework in between times
Oh,
that
no,
we didn't do the night before.
I never did homework in my life. I wonder I failed plasticine.
Let's change the subject.
We've run out of stuff here, Robbie. Now, what are we looking at here, folks?
Touch the screen. Don't touch the screen.
Nobody did. I never touched anything.
Oh, that's not good.
It appears as though, what have we got here? It looks to me as though Elliott Heads ladies might have the 1 shot, although it's sometimes difficult to tell.
This one gets here, it'll be handy.
Yes, indeed it will. And if she grabs hold of the kitty, it's even going to be... Oh,
1 down.
Yes, he might have.
One down from the Taroom skip's claim shot.
Okay.
Flick through the ladies' scores.
So that was a little bit unfortunate, wasn't it?
Well, she was thereabouts.
Yeah, she
Plenty
was.
to go for us. Lorelle
That's it.
fixed that up without a problem. Here we go.
Okay, scores on the other rinks we can see 4-3. If you can read the names, Debbie Logan, goodness read. 4-3 there. The next one we've got is, there's the names of the players. You can see that 4-1 after 4 ends. And the third one with our magical man working the cameras is 3-2 after 4 ends. So Robbie's in control of everything here, except he can't get this thing working. It's gone
Oh, he's going to
wacko
blow up.
again.
He's going to blow up when he sees that one stop working again.
Jesus.
Jesus got nothing to do with it.
No, he can't help you, mate. And Moses is on holiday, so we can't call on him either.
We've just got to get around behind those bowls, I would imagine, holding one.
Yeah, she's played a pretty decent bowl here, Barb, and well, that's a lovely shot. And it
It's
certainly
somewhere
does.
where she wanted to
Of
be.
course it is, and it's not counting, but it's in a beautiful catching position.
Well, you'd imagine Lorelle will be up that little 2-foot gap between the yellow and the one on the line, hoping to shift something down that way.
It's a David Warner bowl. That one's in a great catching position.
I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't go anywhere near
Oh,
putting
I
my
just want
fingers
to put
near.
it into the thing, the cradle properly. Now he's got it.
I know what Robbie will do to you for the cradle.
Store.
I don't know.
Well, here we go. Here's the. See, we've got a head changer with this one.
Yes, here comes
She's a little bit
Lorelle
wide.
Hofstetter. She's out with the chooks with this one, I think. But yeah, it's been a good standard match, Jimmy, isn't it, so far?
In close bowls that have got the shots.
Good luck, Evan Grog Merchant O'Rourke in the singles.
Somewhere not far away from something.
And Faulkner says that. And Evan will be here with us. Well, we don't know when he's arriving, but he'll be here for the Wednesday, Thursday.
I can't read that for a bit
Singles.
of glare on it.
Where's that?
Something Evan O'Rourke, is it?
Yeah, Evan Grog Merchant O'Rourke.
That's a nasty thing to
He
say about
says-
Evan.
No, he said that himself.
Oh,
Go the Nanango men, he said.
yep. No.
And Anne Faulkner's come on, and she's acknowledged that Evan's standing by there. He's packing his bags, getting ready to come down here on Wednesday. We'll be here probably Tuesday night.
Well, it's another one, thanks for the warning.
Yeah, all right. We'll have to go into hiding, Jimmy, just to keep well away from these people.
Oh, no, Evan's not in the same category
No?
as Nugget, no.
Okay, now here comes Barb McDonald.
She's
With an
thinking of
interesting-
pushing that second shot out.
She with an interesting.
She didn't quite get it.
Yeah, no,
It'll be
she
the
didn't
one to
either.
Taroom. It'll make it
Okay,
6-3.
yeah, 6-3. One to the Taroom
They got-
girls. Okay. And I think that's after what, about 4 or 5 ends now, Robbie, is it?
I'll update
It'll be 6 coming back, won't it? Yeah, it'll be 5 ends.
Yeah, 5 ends. Yeah.
Lead number 6 now, coming back towards where they kicked off. No, I'm wrong again. They're at the end when they
No, they've played 6 ends.
would be.
They would have played 5 ends. And finished this one. 6 ends, yep. What does the board say?
All right. I think they've only played 4. One,
There's just
Two.
a.
3,
It's just
4. It's either 4 or 6 anyway. And Robbie just indicated 6.
It's got to be 6.
Yeah. Now that makes me think that the scores, because they all started together, makes me think the scores in the other games might not necessarily be updated. Certainly on the Gale and Debbie's rink here, because they've only got
3 on the board. They've had a dead end, and
well,
they'll be 5 when this bowl
that's probably
comes
what
to rest.
caused it. Okay, so back we are with Margaret McAdam, who's let her first bowl go, and she looks from where we're looking to be pretty damn close
Don't
indeed.
get much closer than that.
No, you cannot, and we'll get the camera angle on that. Here we go, and the Master of Ceremonies has just done his bit. Now, that was a toucher, so it's a lovely starter from Margaret McAdam.
See, you only do the talk and he does the driving.
Well, he does, you know. It's a bit like sitting in the car with your wife, isn't it?
Well, don't say those jokes. Can't go to those jokes.
I do all the driving.
Now you've made me laugh.
Well, that's what we're here to do. I call the boss. She sits in the passenger seat, and she said, "You're going the wrong way." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "We're supposed to be going to Sydney." I said, "That's in your dill. You got the map upside down." He turned it around.
I was thinking more of the one when the... Yeah, I can't tell it one.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Can you? Yes, you can. So Margaret's played her second bowl.
It might be too gender biased.
No, well, no, we're all mates here. Come on. Loosen up a bit. Now, here comes Wendy Campbell, and she's just going to drift underneath again.
No, the standard is fairly good. The conditions, a little bit of breeze blowing.
Yeah, but
you can see
not all that much.
The flag fluttering there in the left-hand corner of your screen.
Well, over there...
Just enough breeze to find out which is the white hand, which is a skinny hand.
Well, you're right. The little flag in the corner of the green is fluttering about a bit over here.
Yep.
And I'll just put the binoculars on so as we can show you at home. Now you can see through the binoculars there, folks. That little flag is blowing a bit.
I can see through. What are you talking about?
Did that come up?
What did you say, Willis?
I was looking through the binoculars, showing the people on the screen. Now the flag was flapping around.
Oh my God.
That's what I've only had one copy. You can't.
You don't count that. You must have heavier medication than that.
Well, I just throw hot water in the coffee jar.
Nearly made it.
How many spoonfuls?
Just dropped that couple of feet short.
Yeah, that's Lorelle. Played her first bowl. She's well, they've all bowled well, haven't they? Look at that. I mean, they're just sort of all pretty well jack high roundabouts there, aren't they?
This one's just lacking a bit of legs, I fear.
Okay, so Jessie Walters has joined the coverage. She's Maximilian Henry and David McKessie. You know them, Jimmy?
You've got to do all those ones. I can't.
No, I can read them out to you.
I wouldn't be game to go near it.
No, don't touch the screen.
Don't touch the screen, or I'll be electrocuted.
Okay, well, there's once again Lorelle Hofstetter coming in there. She just ended up. She had lovely weight again.
Well, that one was just in her eye enough to make us do a bit of thinking that
I'll
I'll go around
that.
that.
Yeah, you get around that. And Faulkner says, good bowl, Mark, go Taroom. So it's very lovely to have you all on board, wherever you may be. And folks, share it as much as you like amongst your club mates and amongst your Facebook friends. Most interested bowlers would know how to click onto the coverage, but we're interested, of course, in getting those folks that aren't necessarily lawn bowlers. Yesterday we had Donald Trump from the Pentagon. He didn't last too long. He was on the golf green, I think.
I missed that one somewhere along the line.
Don't worry about it. I think it went over.
Have a look at this one.
There's a great shot. That's a lovely bowl. Now, that might indicate that the The Taroom girls got one, maybe two there.
Probably two. They've got one just in their eye enough to annoy them on the backhand.
Yeah, they have.
They're going to trundle up on the forehand and try and sit on something.
Wendy Campbell's coming up on her forehand. She'll be just trying to reach Lorelle's.
Played it pretty well.
She played a damn good shot here by Crikey, and she's knocked it across.
Well,
let's cut one out, but she might have even stopped in there with her own bowl to be shot, Jim. She might have the back one beaten, do you think?
I'm guessing it's 2 seconds, but it could be shot.
Yeah.
That bowl's some 14 inches behind, 13, 14 inches behind, I'm guessing.
I think so. But she might have...
Just looking out a bit of the window here instead of the TV side.
Okay, you can see it better than me. Your eyes are better than mine.
I got glasses on.
Yeah, I know, but I haven't. I'll probably have to get some fairly soon, I think.
You could become one of those referees like the bloke in the rugby union last night. He was a bit of a one-eyed referee.
Well, the referee in the rugby league hasn't got any raps on him, has he?
No, they got a room to fix that.
I quite like Toowoomba, though, don't you? I haven't been here all that often. I quite like this little place. I might have to.
It's not that little. It's not that little, you know.
Oh, I know. I mean, we've been driving for, quite a bit, and you get here and it's spread out a bit, isn't it?
The little place in Victoria where you came from must be smaller than Toowoomba. There's only about 80,000, 100,000 people here.
Well, I came from a place called Seymour.
Okay, well, there's about 14 people there now.
Well, I don't think there's that many left.
Once you left.
I think they've all taken off.
They'll come back for the Seymour races, that's it.
Well, I never backed the winner there in my life.
Get back to the bowls here.
Back to the
so you got 2 second shots.
Yeah.
Or if that other one got chopped in, it might even be a 2 down situation. They're all,
that's all.
Other than the one on the line, there's 3 bowls the same distance.
Yep, we just can't pick it up, can we? Now we've got some men's.
They haven't given us all the. Haven't given us too many indications from the skips or whatever that anything changed, and this one's up and at 'em.
Oh, through the gap. How many times did that happen?
That would indicate that Elliott is holding there. That back one mustn't be shot. She just fired that one through the gap.
Well, she wouldn't have been coming up there with that weight if she was holding shot, would she?
No.
So now Lorelle Hofstetter.
She's going behind by the feel of that.
Well,
no, she's nearly got it.
She's got the shot. Oh, well, what we thought might have been shot. Now, the Taroom lady has indicated they're only 1 down.
Yep.
So here comes Barb with another.
She's at it again.
With another cruncher.
She's close.
She's very close. She's got the jack.
She's got 2 shots if there's no backward.
That's right, but the problem...
there's one in the hand.
That the Lorelle's got her final bowl. And she would appear to have a truckload of room to get in there, wouldn't you think, Jim?
I'd like to be...
Oh, we didn't know.
Whoops.
Oh, the phone. Hang on to the phone.
Whoops.
Oh, no. And she could be 3 down here. Now, what's going on?
A little bit against the runner play.
Well, now we see we might have... They've got a few here.
3 shots.
Got 3 shots. Now, see, that's what happens when you start to forget bowl after bowl on the head. We were completely oblivious.
We thought it was 2 down
That's
and a lot
right,
of room.
and
She instead had a lot of room to draw a second shot.
Well, she did, and now we know why she was playing that weight. She was probably looking to make that bowl because we forgot totally that it was there. Well, we didn't know.
It's just out of the screen.
Yeah, well, it was a long way out of the screen, wasn't it? Okay, so that's a handy pickup for
Squared things up.
Margaret McAdam and Barbara McDonald from Taroom, Condamine district, and the score is 6-all after 7 ends. And I've got the Gold Coast news and weather here now. Not that we need to know that.
Oh,
Robbie's getting cranky again.
No, he's not.
Lenny Jaffray has joined. Well, I just noticed that before we lost this particular gizmo. Lenny, good morning, Lenny, and I believe Lenny's still in South Australia, watching from somewhere.
Try not to touch the screen.
We haven't touched it, Robbie. We haven't touched it. We've been nowhere near it, mate.
You've been breathing on it sometime.
Oh, well, yeah, well, it's close enough to do that, but...
See, I've got different...
Yes, you have, because you're connected into Bowls Australia.
Okay.
Oh, no, I am. All right. Okay.
You've got Bowls Queensland feed, you've got the Gold Coast Tweed.
Right.
I've got the Gold Coast Tweed. Well,
Okay. Brian Stewart, good morning. Brian, he's watching. Melissa Coletti, go for it, Taroom, and enjoy the ride. Now, Melissa, I'm tipping that you might be some way related to... Who?
you got the wrong book.
Oh, have I?
You got the whoever won the... Oh, no, you've got...
No, I'm on the right track here, aren't I?
Yep.
Melissa Coletti. Now, I recognised the name. Melissa will be representing Roma from Marino Warrego district in the ladies' singles. So, good morning to you, Melissa, and we'll be seeing you here at North Toowoomba in the next few days, and good luck to you, dear.
I've got my little line of thing here is Maddie Bell and Chloe Stewart have joined and watching.
Oh, both wonderful, wonderful people, and congratulations, Chloe, once again on your marvellous efforts for yesterday, and we'll be seeing, we'll certainly be seeing Cloris, that's my pet name for Chloe. We'll certainly be seeing Cloris back here because she's back here for the singles. And Mark D. Franciscus says to you, Jimmy, hi, Jimmy.
Hello, Mark. That's known Mark for a long time. Played in the emerging crew in the late 90s, under 40s team. It was an under 40s team for a while in those days.
Yep, sure thing.
Di Francisi, still playing for district sides for Townsville, for North Queensland.
We'll just come back to the ladies' game here and try and give you an update there. It looks to me as though the Taroom ladies have got one shot, and the score is 6-all after 7, as you can see there, folks. And
it's
now
either a bowl wide or a bowl heavy.
Lorelle, yeah, she's just dropping in the background there. Johnny Walker, good morning, Jono. Always lovely to hear from you, my friend, and enjoyed your company the other day, and your addition to the commentary team was wonderful. Very well known, John, as you would be aware, Jimmy C. Very nice bloke. Scott's,
Who said that?
I did.
Wouldn't be anybody out there.
Scott Sliman, is it? Scott Sliman. He's enjoying the coverage. And now we've got the ladies' scores. Go ahead, Jim.
9-3.
9-3.
Logan.
To the Gateway girls.
The Mackay crew have come from behind. They were behind 4-1 or something. They're now 7-4 in front.
Yep. And the other game is with the magic of the camera movement, 3-5. Yeah. So that answers. Good morning. Good morning, Karen Goldsworthy. That answers. Welcome, Kaz. That answers your question on the update of the Gateway score, and your girls from leading 9-3.
Yeah, it was good to see husband Peter. I haven't seen him for many years from Bagara.
Okay.
They decided to come here on a motorbike, so Karen had her hair blown around a little bit when she arrived here to watch the Fours games.
A bad hair day.
Well, I wouldn't say a bad hair day. I'm pretty sure she had a helmet on it.
Okay, now Margie Grundon, could you please do another update of the scores? Well, we've just done that, Margie, so you'd be happy, surely.
Read your mind.
Johnny Walker says, hi, John T. And Big Johnny North is watching from Tweed Heads.
No,
Good
Johnny
morning,
North.
Johnny boy.
He started playing at Hamilton.
Yeah.
With little Maxie, who used to be 3 foot high.
Well, he's still around. They still play a fair bit of bowls together, the North.
3 foot high.
Was
I think he was 8 when he played for Brisbane North.
he really?
Yeah, and he didn't come up to anybody's elbow, let alone anything
No,
else.
bit like Scotty de Jong.
He wasn't as big as Scotty.
Wasn't he really?
He's somewhat bigger now.
Okay, now look, folks, we've got we're doing the best we can. We're running around like headless chooks here, trying to keep you up to date with what's going on. And on the top green with the men, while they're crossing over here, we've got John Fisher and David Williams, who are 5, trailing Wally Clyden and Kerry Ollett, who are 6, and that's after 6 ends. John Newell and Jason Moore are 9, leading Jason Walford and Mitch Stiles 6 after 8 ends. John Martin and Craig Hall are 3 against Nathan Rice and Andrew Howie, who are 4 after 5 ends. That's very close. Darren Stanley and Roberto Capelli, that's got to be Melissa's husband, I presume, are leading 5. They're down against Chris Forbes and Jai Singh, 7-5 after 6 ends. So that's the best we can do for the men. We can only stream one game at a time, as you're well and truly aware by now.
He's a little bit out in the... Could get a little edge off that one.
Oh, yes. Oh, she's just run through the bleeding gap. Oh, my God. Margie running, thank you. That's fine, Margie. We're doing the best we can. We've really got 4 games to watch on this green.
I really thought you'd be much better off without Brian, but he's probably listening now.
Well, he will be. And
I better not say anything more.
No, we'll say good morning, Brian, if you're there. He probably is. He's sneaking around, not announcing his presence.
He's become a professional, everything.
Well, he's not in charge. I know. Melissa says, no, it's not my hubby. Well, I made incorrect presumptions there, Melissa, but I'm certainly presuming...
This one's in the area. If it's around that, it's somewhere near the jack.
I'm certainly presuming...
Straight over to 2 of their bowls, 2 down.
That,
2 more to Taroom. At the front, 8-6.
Been a bit of a change in the program here,
Lorelle was
isn't it?
pretty close to doing something really good there, which didn't quite go for her. Reminded me of one of my mates that told me the other day that he hit the kitty nearly every end and it always went to their bowls.
Is that right?
And all I could say to him was, did a dog eat his homework as well? Because have you ever heard anybody tell that old story?
No, well, I mean, I never got close enough to hit the bleeding kitty.
That's Billy Fletcher. He just started playing down there at Burleigh and hit the kitty every end. I'd like to have seen that.
Lynn Galately, well, we've just done a very recent update on the other scores, Lynn. We'll repeat them.
I'll just give her another one.
As soon as Robbie organised himself, we presume you're looking for the
Scoreboards
ladies.
haven't changed since we skimmed across them last time.
Okay,
That
so...
mightn't be a word.
Well, I think it's good enough.
Skimmed. I better do skimmed.
Okay, so we've had a change in leadership here on the televised rink. As you can see, the Taroom ladies have hit the front 8-6, and this is going to be a cracking game that'll go right down to the wire after 8 ends there. Okay, well, Darren, thanks for that, Darren, and your question has been answered by Cole Nayland. So it's all good, and I appreciate what you've done there, Cole, because just to answer one another's questions there was always very handy, because it can sort of take us away from having to repeat scores time and time again frequently for those who might have just joined. Okay, so we've had a couple of bowls played on the 9th end, and nobody at this stage has got shot.
We just hang out there. I don't know whether the wind's changed a little bit, but she's put 2 out there.
Yeah, it did that yesterday too in the early morning game too, Jim, where the breeze was just affecting that hand, and it ended up being a damn sight tighter than they were allowing for. But anyway, we've got...
We've left it to the skips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wendy, Campbell, okay, she's run fairly well through with that one. All right, now you can see the score. Robbie's doing a fantastic job here. Now that the score of 9-5, that's the Gateway girls leading. And then the next one is on 8 ends and
8-7.
8-7. And you can see the names of the ladies playing that game. So it's the best we can do. So
they're pretty close.
They are. They're close all round, and there's 3-5 after 6 ends on that.
They're just
particular
an in behind.
rink.
They're an in behind the others at the moment.
So the games are all fairly close, aren't they, Jim? There's nothing sort of opening up because the
well, they're 2-2-1 and Debbie's
2.
4. So 4 the difference at this stage means very little.
And Lorelle Hofstetter's come in with a cracking shot here, and
she's back in business.
she is, and she's been bowling. But well, they've all been bowling well, haven't they? But that
the skips
Lorelle,
are just showing the leads up on this end.
The Lorelle seems to be have been a little more consistent than the others. But having said that,
she played that one crook one that
her team,
she should have got second shot round the back just before, where they lost to 3. But other than that, she's been on the ball. We do have over on the sideline Verna McMahon, who's, I suppose, I don't know whether she's the boss of Elliott Heads. She's the boss of most people at Elliott Heads. She bosses the men, she bosses the ladies, she runs the show.
Well, you get
she's
that
here
no matter where you
spectating.
go.
She's here spectating on the sideline just behind this game.
Well, it doesn't matter where you go. The women are in charge, aren't they?
Oh, well, I used to even play a few mixed games with Verna, only because she told me I had to. Only ever played a couple of mixed games, some with Verna and one of my great mates that moved away from us a bit at the moment, Bev Parker.
Okay. Well, I've known Bev for quite some years. She used to be down around the Gold Coast area, but she's up.
She was Burleigh, then Bundaberg,
that's
and
right.
Now she's moved.
Yeah, she's moved again. She's lovely. Always liked Bev. Lovely lady, and if she's watching, I'll say good morning.
She knows more stories than you do.
Well,
pretty close.
Well, I doubt that. Darren Turner, good morning, Darren, and cheers to us, and thanks, and cheers to you. And share it around, folks, as far as you can. And we'll see if we can get as many people watching around wherever you might be. Bit of a crunch there, or a little clip on that front bowl. But it appears that...
I must tell one little story on Bev Parker. She mightn't be listening, but she might get this one through.
Well, somebody will tell her.
We were playing in the mixed pairs finals of the Champion of Champions a couple of 3 years ago, might be 4 years ago. And we had to play Shuey and Emma. Well, she might have even been Brown then, Emma Spicer.
Yeah, her mum's here on the weekend.
And Shuey brought a little film clip, a little paper clip along from down when Bev was in Canberra, where the Australian team was playing an international game, and they went out and had a practice the afternoon before, and Bev beat Shuey in a game of singles before he had his first representative game for Australia.
Okay.
And it managed to get the back page of the paper. Managed to get the back page of the paper in Canberra, and Shuey still had it as little clip in his.
Oh, okay.
Then he brought it along to show Bev. She was pretty impressed that Shuey would still have a clip of that game.
Yeah, I'm sure she either... It makes you wonder why Shuey decided to keep it, but You know, that's the sort of stuff that, history's made of, isn't it?
Well, it was the first time I think he played for Australia, and the day before he got beaten by a
Got
girl.
beaten by Bev, yeah. She's always been a good player, though, Bev, hasn't she? She's been, a lovely lady.
Imagine how good she was to carry me to the state finals. We had a good year that year. And playing with Bev is an experience.
Yeah. We seem to be having some issues here at the moment. Robbie's not telling us what's going on, but if you've lost transmission, don't bother telling us because we already know.
We might be talking to ourselves. Is that what you're saying?
Well, they could probably, they're probably getting the voice transmission, but no pictures.
No, they won't be getting anything.
Oh, they're not getting anything. Okay, well, there's no point us saying that. I'll go and have a smoke.
No,
I doubt it.
you're still being recorded.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can't knock off.
No, we're still here.
People will run through and check what you said wrongly in years to come.
Well, that'll be plenty. That'll be plenty. Anyway, look,
Now, how many's Elliott Head's got here?
I think it's probably only one
It appears that way.
because Wendy Campbell's got the green bowls, hasn't she? And she doesn't appear to be holding a second. Okay, so Barbara McDonald's come in and
She
she's
needs a
just
feather.
gonna slide and
not
not
quite.
enough. Not enough. So Elliott Heads are still holding one, and Lorelle Hofstetter's got one more
One
to
to play.
come. And she's on her backhand.
Be hard pressed to knock one of those up.
Well, she
On
would
the
be. They're a
forehand.
bit too short, ain't yeah. But she's out. She's out nicely.
She's elected to play this one. She's not that far
No,
away.
she's not. You got to miss that front one coming in, and but it is her own bowl, but she didn't knock it up enough. Okay, so there's one more to Elliott Heads, and that takes the score to they're down 7-8 after 9 ends. Robbie's working furiously here to get things back in order, and these things happen, folks, if you've lost us.
We must be up too high at
Well,
Toowoomba.
I think mate, it's the Wi-Fi interruptions and it's internet dropouts, and I mean, you get this sort of thing on your home computers, don't you? So,
I know a few dropouts.
no, there are more dropouts than the Dumville High School.
Areas around this district. And this is a bad one.
What high school was that?
Dumville.
Dumville.
Yeah, they had
Is that
more.
where you went?
No. I went to the Academy of Intelligentsia.
Is that the opposite of
Oh,
Dumville?
yeah, it's the other end of the scale.
Okay. Well, we're sort of struggling a little bit with the wind changing direction a little bit, I think. And-
Anyway, the live broadcast will continue.
And we've put them out a little bit wide. We've put them out a little bit wide on this way going. I think there's a little bit of an angle of the wind change.
Yeah, it could be. Wendy Campbell is the closest bowl to the jack, and she's playing her second one now, and she's coming in quite nicely again with
Close
she's-
here.
oh yes, indeed. She's going to sit right behind it. It's probably 6 or 8 inches behind the jack, and she's holding 2.
Look out through that window, you'll find out a little bit more than 6 or 8 inches.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a bit more than a foot, isn't it? Well, I couldn't. The wall was in the way, Jimmy. Give me a break, will you?
I don't want to give you a break. You're not going to give me one.
Yes, I am. And Margaret McAdam has played 2 bowls a little bit wide of where she would like to have been. So it's Elliott Heads holding 2 shots, and the crossover's in progress. A little bit of a mid-pitch discussion between Elliott Heads ladies, and I think they were...
I think she might have said, don't be wide out there.
No, well, she might have said lift your game, or she might have said you're bowling very well. I don't know. Okay, so Lorelle Hofstetter's coming in now with her first bowl, and she's going to just play a good shot. It just came round behind the kitty, inside.
For those viewers,
That
that's
green
about
bowl.
2.5 feet that bowl went through, because
Yeah.
we're pretty close to being able to see through the window how far it is. That's what I always have tricks with watching these, is how far behind the bowls are.
You do.
That coloured bowl that Lorelle just played looks to only be a foot or so behind on the
But
TV.
But
It's nearly
a metre.
a metre, yes.
Yeah. See, now that's where it creates an optical illusion, doesn't it? Now that bowl there from Lorelle is a good 3 foot short of Jack High, I would think, or
Yep.
2 foot at least.
No, it could be 3 foot.
3 foot short of Jack High. See, now that's tricky. You'd look at that and you'd say, well, that's only about 8 to 10 inches short of Jack High, wouldn't you, Jim?
Mm.
You're looking at the screen, but it's a good 2 feet short. Okay, so,
Well, it's still 2 or 3
yeah.
Elliott heads.
The green bowl immediately behind the Jack is as Jimmy's alluded to, is 12 to 14 inches behind. But that is the shot, we can tell you for sure.
They have 3, and if they could whack one right on it here, make the others look very nice.
Indeed. And so Wendy Campbell is attempting to do just that, Jim.
Grass is right.
Yes. She might just be a little bit short on the weight
Wrong with
category.
wrong with the grass bit.
The
They've been staying out there a bit.
commentators curse, mate.
They've been staying out
They've
there a
gone
bit.
the early
That
field.
one didn't.
Early crow on that one. But it happens. I mean, it looks as though something's left the hand and being delivered in the right area, and then all of a sudden you're biting your tongue. So we can assure you that this one's going to be a little bit heavy and wide, but apart from that, it's not a bad bowl, Jim, is it?
Quite, yeah. We'll see if this one's the right grass.
Well, she got better grass than she had, and she's actually just got the Jack, so that's
Well, that's 4 shots, but
interesting.
now
Well, that was a good shot from Wendy. So they're holding a couple now. But Barbara's going to have something to say about that.
not much.
Well, she contacted that front bowl. She might have been happy enough, but unfortunately she's run away a fair bit.
That was a bit narrower than the one I said that had nice grass.
Yeah. Got to be very careful, haven't we? The
I always
scoreboard-
thought I could play better off the bank. But
Well, I've played my best games by sitting down watching, haven't you? We're always armchair experts. And just looking at the other scores that I can see, the Gateway girls are still leading 9-5, but that hasn't been updated for.
no, they haven't
Quite
finished
a
their
while.
second end for a while.
And then there's the next score is 8-7 that I can see, and then
Yeah,
there's.
This is a bit of a crunch part now because this looks somewhere around the
Yep.
Jack.
Yes, indeed it is too, Jim. That's a lovely shot here.
And that will make 5.
Oh,
And
goodness me.
we need some sort of a response from Taroom here.
Yeah, we do.
I'm not saying anything to this
No,
one
neither am I.
because I'm not sure it's up.
No. Well, might have cut something out, but not enough, probably. So now Lorelle is
She's going to
persevering.
stick there on that hand. where
With
she
her
just
backhand. She's
we just played one.
Just played a lovely bowl on her backhand. She's come down again with pretty much the same grass, and
Just a bit behind.
yeah, and
And
yep, and Wendy was clapping that one, and that's a counter as well.
this is the one that makes
So
the
now
difference. I'd
Barb-
say it's 4.
Barb's in a bit of trouble here if she doesn't sort of
clean air she needs.
Yeah.
No, she didn't.
Well, she knocked her own bowl up, but she didn't turn up enough. So this could be a
see 1, 2, 3.
this could be a big
maybe
count here.
4. 3 anyway, I'd guess.
Taken one out for sure, and the second one's come out, and they're now.
The one on the blue line's in.
That's
that one.
3. They've kicked 3 out. Now they're measuring for 4, and possibly.
So put the Elliott Heads team back in front.
Yes,
At
it
about
will.
nearly the halfway stage.
Okay, so they've measured to try and find out which is the closest grey bowl. Now they've
And
come
this
back.
one's in by a
Well,
furlong.
this is in by as far as you
And
can
that
kick
one,
out.
that one might be in too.
And that is 2.
5.
So there's 5 shots to the Elliott Heads girls. So that gives them, I think we've got to add 1 to that from the previous end. 7, 5 is 12. Robbie, it's okay, Robbie, cool down. We think that Elliott Heads ladies are now leading 12-8 after 10 ends. But that might change a bit.
We know you're right.
Is that right?
That is correct, though.
Well,
You can say anything you like.
well, no, I can't, but there was one end where Robbie was bouncing around like a headless chook, and that we knew hadn't been added on, and
That's all right.
Elliott got the shot was 7, and now they've got 5 more.
Don't chastise the boss from doing
Oh,
3
no,
jobs at
no.
once.
No, well, just get him a pipe at lunchtime, and all shall be healed.
Only if I've got this up and running.
He's not even going to eat a pie if he hasn't got it
Well,
worked
He
out.
hasn't got it working.
The pie store
Okay.
might close.
No, goodness me. We'll have to
Everybody's on.
break in through the front door.
What's going on here?
I think everybody's ringing him to say,
Well, we have a director of
Get your-
everything.
get your things into order.
Yeah. Well, if he can't get it up and running, we've got no hope, Jimmy. So he got it all. He's got it all to do.
So I'll be there in about 2 minutes.
He's informed us that he's going to be.
He's almost...
He's got it sorted in 2 minutes. But this is something that.
Are you saving up something special to say when we go back
Well,
online?
no. Look, I say it all the time, Jimmy. That the technological expertise to get this situation up and running so you can all sit in your lounge rooms and sometimes connect it up to your 80-inch TV screens. It's not that easy. And despite the fact that the Gold Coast, Tweed and Bowls... Oh, there's a great shot too. Bowls Australia behind this 100%. And Bowls Queensland, let's not forget them. It's just not perfect.
No, but we do watch some of the other ones that are live streamed,
Yeah.
and we know who's the best.
Well,
But
we do.
Am I supposed to say that on this
no.
one?
Look, you can. I mean, because look, we admire what everybody who wants to get into live streaming. We admire their time and their effort and to provide bowls events from all around, and not just bowls. There's other events too. But the bottom line is that the invested capital into what we have is quite some years past what
The others
other
have.
folks have got. But having said that, there are still glitches.
This is out of our control. This is internet around the area.
This is internet at Toowoomba to blame.
Okay, so they're the problems we face. And despite our efforts to...
We're back up to a dog ate my homework.
Yes, we are. And despite our efforts and Robbie's expertise in everything technological, we still have problems. Internet, I understand we've just been informed it's an internet problem in Toowoomba.
Completely dropped out on our modems.
Completely dropped out, okay.
But we're back up.
Here we go.
We're back up and running, as Robbie says, and if you've now got Vision back with us, you've probably got happy to see that because you're sick and tired of us waffling on.
Yeah, well, we were nearly up to telling little Johnny's story.
Well, we were. Well, something even worse than that. Now here comes, if you're watching this live, folks, which I presume you are, Lorelle Hofstetter's come in with she's just a bit short. In fact, she's probably damn size shorter than what it appears on screen. She'd be 2.5 foot short, I think, with that bowl. But her teammate...
A little bit narrow again through that gap where she was the first one.
Her teammate, Wendy...
Has the shot.
Wendy Campbell would be holding shot with that green bowl, Jack Level. The second shot's the bowl on the right-hand side. Yeah, well, Scott Slyman there, or Slimman is it, he's acknowledged the fickleness of modern technology. And Robbie Allen has just applauded you, Scott, for being so observant. And Robbie's as bold as a badger, and it's any wonder he keeps tearing his hair out, whatever he had left. He's still got a bit left, he reckons.
Well, we've been off for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, folks, there's nothing we can do about that situation.
But we're back up now.
We're back up and running. Chris Laleva's joined the coverage. Good morning, Chris. Now here's something. Craig Brogan says hello from Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. Watching on behalf of Saigon Lawn Bowls. Well, a very, very good whatever it is.
This is close. This is close to knocking her own bowl out.
Oh, yes, she did. She stuck around, though.
Whoops.
But welcome indeed, Craig Brogan from Ho Chi Minh City. It just goes to show you the far and wide coverage that we get, Jim, doesn't it?
Yes, it is. Well, when we're up and working, we're working around the world, don't we?
Well, you just never know where folks are going to be watching from. And, it's all due to sharing it around, I suppose. You have direct access to Lawn Bowls Australia, Lawn Bowls, or the Gold Coast Tweed District Bowls Association, Bowls Queensland, etc., etc.
Well, we were thinking up all the excuses we had for not doing it, and, that old one about dog ate my homework. Little Johnny got into trouble the other day.
Did he?
And the teacher got up him. He said, your story on my dog is word for word exactly the same as your sister's story.
Oh, that's right.
And little Johnny said, well, you do know it's the same dog.
Same dog. Oh, good grief. Is that the best you've got? Holy smoke. Oh, now, look.
That's
what's
the
happened
best
here?
you've got.
What's happened here?
That's the best.
And Lorelle's come in there with like a pinball machine there.
No, he's right. He didn't swear. He didn't have to bleep him.
No, we don't do that.
This
one
one's
thing we do not
just about to.
Okay, so now
one to Elliott heads.
It's only one, you think?
She did get a little bit of help.
It's only one, you reckon?
It is.
Yeah, she's indicated just one. That was Wendy.
Wendy was going round the back and was narrow and took the shot bowl away.
You saw that?
And Lorelle has fixed up the problem. She's a little round the back,
she's left that a bit wide, but anyway, she's been bowling very well. The ladies have been playing extremely well, haven't they?
Here we go.
Yeah, so here comes Barb McDonald again, and she's going to be a little bit under, I think.
She's not quite up.
Yeah, well, Ronnie's got the...
Make 13-8.
Well, it might only be just the one, is it? He's knocked that one out there.
She'll have a quick look and say one.
I don't know about that.
No, she'll have a long look and a measure and say one.
We've got the measure coming out. So that's a 1-2 Elliott heads at least at this stage. And They're getting down. Have a pretty close look here. It's only one. So they'll take him to 13, 8 after 11 ends. Now I can tell you from the closest scoreboard I can see clearly is the Gateway girls are leading 10-6 after 10 ends. Now Robbie's in his usual expert manner, he's going around the greens with that camera set out on the wing there that you can see. And if the girls happen to play a wrong bias, that camera situation's in perilous danger. It goes knocking it over. So now here we've got scores coming up right now. So there's you can see that's 10-6. And the lady's waving her arms around there like a traffic cop. And we're not sure.
10-9 to Mackay on the second game.
10-6. And the Mackay girls are leading 10-9, as Jimmy just said. And have another crack at that, Jim.
The other game, I think, is 11-7.
11-7, and that's after 10 ends as well. So they've generally played about 10 ends.
It is 11-7. I can see it on this one in front of me.
Yep. Rhonda Holmes is watching. Good morning, wherever you may be, Rhonda and Shawnee Keepy. Well, Sean's a regular viewer of the program, and welcome to you again, Sean.
Geez, look at the one that's watching here, Brian Marshall.
Oh, yeah, well, we knew he'd be around.
He'll be chastising.
Well, he'll be wondering. He'll be marking us out of 10.
The lack of ability at the moment. He'll be whinging, won't he?
Oh, well, you're going to be marking us out of 10. He'll be back tomorrow morning, I believe. So then Wendy Campbell is from the Elliott girls. She's trailed the jack off the line, and she's holding shot. And with Margaret McAdam now coming in with her second delivery, she's playing her backhand, as you can see.
Pretty handily too.
She looks as though she's fairly well landing here.
She quite.
Just going to be just a tad.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
A little bit of both.
Big Johnny North is back with Max, and they're up, I think he said, down at Tweed, aren't they? Tweed heads before. Hi, Jim, he says.
Yeah, I know John very well. Came along to start playing bowls at Hamilton when I was at Hamilton. Had his first game.
Do you want me to go and get
He was a bit scary because he was Strop's bouncer.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay.
Hogue Strop and Delvine Delaney.
Oh, I'll never forget Delvine.
No.
Who would?
I'm pretty sure that was one of Johnny North's jobs, was to look after them wherever they travelled around the place.
Well, you wouldn't mind looking after Delvine, would you?
Well, you could probably have a beer with Hogues at one stage too, wouldn't you?
No, I didn't think he drinks.
You wouldn't have wanted to have a cigarette with him.
Not since gulping became fashionable. Okay, so now we've got something happening here, folks, that we can tell you that the Elliott girls appear to be holding 2. And Lorelle Hofstetter is about to deliver her second bowl. She's staying on the forehand. And we're not going to make any presumptions until she actually gets here.
Look narrow.
And she is. She's got a lovely weight again, though, Jim, hasn't she? Look at that.
It's
perfect weight.
Another count.
Well, it counts. It does count.
And
Peter Blackburn. Good morning. Good morning, Pistol. From I presume.
Cop that.
Yeah, have I stick that in your pipe and smoke it? Said said Barb after that one. She's just gone crunch with the kitty and straight in the ditch. And
thanks for coming. She's about 18 inches away in the ditch.
And holding more than one, I'm telling you. Good morning, Pistol. We're just in the process of, we got Ronnie up there getting the scores from the men's. We've already had 2 updates, and we're getting the score from the men's who are on the top green. We've got no access to that. But they're all they'd be around about the 10 end mark, probably just a little short of halfway through.
The Marion crew were a couple in front last time we said.
Yeah,
anything
well,
pistol?
I haven't got with a past
But,
score record.
we'll have a score
We'll
update
have brand
in
new.
about 5 minutes.
Less than 5 minutes. We'll have brand new score update on the men's, which are on the top green, and not within our viewing scope. Now, what's happened here? This is inspection of the head. No. Okay, so the you can see that now. That's how fantastic is that? Robbie's angled that back, and now we've lost it again.
That's all right. We had a look.
Yeah, we had a look, and they were holding, I think, 2 or 3 with the Taroom ladies. And here comes.
Well,
this is
everybody
Margaret,
can
isn't it?
see where the 2 metre line is.
Yes, and you can see the marker on the bank there.
And we know that we've got to beat the 2 metre line when we're 4 down.
We sure do. Having said that, I think it would be probably 2, maybe 3 shots.
We're going to gather that one.
Yeah, now there's one that's gone in the drain, so that's not going to help now. Margaret has got another bowl to play, and she's probably got to make up a good 6 or 7 feet on her previous one.
Well, even if she lobs one down near it,
Yeah,
it's a counter, and Lorelle's got to negotiate a couple of
course
bowls.
she does. Well, she's certainly got better weight, but I'm just not so sure she's going to get back in time, is she?
She's fair
No,
way
she's
away.
left it.
I think Lorelle, the way she's playing, will draw a second shot here.
Well, you would expect her to. I mean,
Being a neutral person and not cheering that hard for the Bundaberg district,
No, well, I
I would
reckon-
certainly hope she draws second
well,
shot.
I reckon I could draw a second shot there.
Oh, come on now, you're stretching it.
Even me. Peter, yeah, we've already mentioned Pete Pistol Blackburn, who wins everything up round Mackay. I think even a fishing contest, I think he won up there once, didn't he?
Pistol.
He does, you know, Pete.
Well,
Everybody knows Pete, don't you?
we'll just keep
Oh, look at Jimmy.
swatted that
Jimmy
fly.
swatted a fly and knocked his head back. The things that are happening. Aileen Wiley is watching. Good morning, Aileen. And we have Brian. Well, we knew Brian Marshall would be there. He's just keeping checks on us. And Beverly Profkey is watching. Good morning to you, Beverly.
See how much damage I did to those headphones.
Yeah,
now.
nothing. We can still hear you.
That,
Now, stand by, folks. We've got Jimmy C here, who's going to give you the scores of the men's.
I'll wait till we finish this.
Oh, well, after we finish this,
we've got
then.
a fairly important bowl to play here where she's
Yeah.
got to cut them down,
She does.
being quite a few down.
And the rail has
Ooh, she's going in the sand.
I think she ditched it. Well, she has too. Well,
By
now.
a fair way.
Well, nearly come straight through the clubhouse window. Not really. Okay, so this is the last bowl from Barbara,
And we start
and she's
figuring
going
out-
to count with that, because that's a lovely shot that's crept up towards the ditch. It didn't make it, but it's certainly well and truly in play.
now we'll make a pile.
That's the touches come out. So there's 2 shots, and that's a third, and I'm tipping is
Well,
very close measure for the 4th.
I think
they
she's
might
going to
have to-
say that's shot over on the right-hand
Yeah,
side
well,
on their
it-
screen.
Well, if it is, then that's not one of theirs, is it? But there could be. We might have a break for the umpire.
I think that might be 3 only.
Well, you might as well. Okay, well, we'll keep them posted on. They've certainly got 3 already, which gives the.
I don't think have they called the umpire?
Well, I don't know.
They have called the umpire.
They've called the umpire.
We'll
So
run
that-
through these.
Okay, here's the men's scores coming at you.
On the first game, it's 9-7 to Nanango. That's Fisher and Williams over Marion, which is Clyden and Elliott. We have Newell and Moore getting away on the Marlin Coast crew. We'll skip by Mitchell Stiles there, 15-4 on 12 ends. And Rice and Howie are getting away at 12-4 on 9. So they've played 3 ends less than most people, but it's 12-4. So obviously they've had a few dead ends in that game. And Capelli from the Summit is 11-9 over Jai Singh Toowoomba. So we've got 11-9 and 9-7, 2 of the games. But we have a 15-4 and a 12-4 in the other 2 games. Yeah. And that's basically the halfway stage.
Yes, they're all about the same number of ends except for the there's 10, 9 and 10. And this game here, they've played 12, so they're not wasting any time, are they? That's John Newell and Jason Moore in their match. Okay, so we hope that that's...
We've got the umpires out.
That might have satisfied quite a few of the of our male friends watching, who our job is, of course, to keep you up to date with those scores as well. So we've just had Ronnie up there bouncing around. And the ladies have already taken, if you can see on the screen, of course you can, they've already taken 3 out now.
This is the one that's in by a foot.
Wow, you see, that surprised me a little bit. Didn't it surprise you? Looking from where we were. And so that's the 4th.
That's 4.
That's 4 shots. 4 shots to the Taroom ladies. So that brings them, they've just come back, with a vengeance here, haven't they? Because that's 12-13 now. They're only down by 1.
Potted the kitty and failed a bit. The Elliott Heads crew, they had 4 goes at getting to the 6-foot line. And paid the consequences of...
Robbie.
Paid the consequences of 4 shots.
I'm just going to leave you with the inimitable Jim C, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll just come back shortly after Nature Call.
Okay, you've got the sack.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Okay. I've got the mat fairly well back. Playing a little bit longer end than we have been playing. Basically, Elliott Heads has had control in the game, but they've lost a 3 and a 4 with the Taroom lady picking up the kitty both times and running it back 20 odd feet. Obviously that 3 and a 4 makes a lot of difference on the scoreboard. Lorelle's been all over the kitty when it's been set and on the line, but she's had 2 failures. 2 failures only, that's when the kitty's gone right back. But the weather in Toowoomba is near perfect. Haven't even thought of taking my jumper out of the port that I brought along specially. Be considering that been to Toowoomba at different times, even this time of the year when it's been reasonably cool, we'd say. A little bit under. We're having a look across the scores again then. 10-6. Mackay 2 in front in that game. And the other game's still at 11-7. The major sponsors of the live streaming, of course, we have Bowls Queensland and we have the Toowoomba region. I met the local incumbent yesterday that he'll be back tomorrow for presentations of the pairs. I've just got to remember his name correctly. He gave me his card. I think it's Jeff McDonald. Jeff McDonald from representing the council be here tomorrow for presentation. And of course Brett Wilkie will be here tomorrow as CEO. And that's our major sponsors of the live streaming. We've also got North Toowoomba that we've made home for 6 days. And we don't have any problems here at North Toowoomba. Greens are good. Meals have gone off well. And bar staff attendance, we can handle them pretty easy. Lorelle's not that far away. With the first one is very good. This one's not quite here. Only needed another couple of feet to count. But I think it'll be a warning of things to come that the big scores they've got is when the Taroom skip has picked up that jack and run it through. And I haven't got Gary's sheet with the first name on there, being B. McDonald.
Barbara, I believe. That's mean.
Barbara, you're right. You're right again, Delaney. Would think that that would be something to think about for the later ends when crunches are on. That she plays that shot so well. It's been very successful with it up till now. Colin Hayes is watching, it says over on this little monitor. Hello, jockey. And over on this one it says Greg Bostock, Brian Marshall watching.
Oh, thanks for that.
Commentator number 1 is back in the stirrups.
Well, about number 1, we've got it turned on here. Thanks, Robbie. I've just been outside, fellas, and the breeze is nothing to speak of. It's a very light puppy sort of one of those breezes, which certainly wouldn't be affecting the quality of players from all around the state that you have here today.
Nothing to use an excuse if you get beat. Is
Well,
what you're trying to say?
well, you know, we'd all be aware that the most difficult conditions to play in, and the Gale, is it? Debbie Logan put a
little gap. She's won the last 2
just
ends.
After 12 ends, I can see they're leading 15-6.
She's scored 5 shots over the last 2 ends to put a little gap in them.
Yeah. And of course, the game that we all love so much is dictated by centimetres, as we're all aware. And the most difficult conditions, of course, is when it's windy, isn't it? Now, here's a good-looking bowl. We're going to be bang crash and nothing happened. It's always difficult in windy conditions, but there's no problem with that today.
I don't think that missing with the first one will stop Barbara playing a second.
No, she'll probably have another crack, wouldn't she?
She's had success. Not quite around it.
Oh, she's not, but it's her own bowl.
Does it fill the gap?
I think that was her own bowl she knocked up there, so that's not, but it doesn't count.
I think she fills the gap.
So we've got Robbie's got that central camera,
That's all right.
on green camera focus.
She changed her hand and played a different shot when that one went across. She's playing forehand.
We've got the
and
girls.
She's run through.
Okay, so Elliott heads indicated they've got one.
Somehow they've got to get around that bowl and back to make two. I would think that is near impossible. We'll see how she goes.
Lorelle Hofstetter's delivered her bowl and can't quite see because she's played her backhand and
Just went past.
Wendy's just in the way. She's run through. Okay, but they're claiming one shot, so that gives them the lead of 14 to 12 after 13 ends. And Robbie's updating that as we speak, and I think he's now got that central camera about to be angled for the other scores. We can picture all the scoreboards with that one. Now the men, you can see in the background there, we're up on the other green is at a higher level, and that's where the men are playing, behind that little shelter shed area, which is jam-packed with the viewers, and it also has an upstairs area, which is a very unique situation. The upstairs area on top of the roof there looks over the second green, which is quite a unique little situation. We've given you recent updates in the men's scores, haven't we? Thanks very much for Ronnie for getting those.
Yep.
Now, Wendy's come down. She's got beautiful weight again, but she's just pinched her grass a bit there. So Margaret McAdam is playing her first bowl. She's following it down on the forehand side. And here it comes. And without wanting to preempt too much, I think she's got better grass, but not quite the same weight. But that probably will be shot, although it's not easy to tell from the angles we're on.
Yes, 15 to 6.
Okay, yes, that's the Gateway girls.
Gateway's put a little gap in that game.
They've just sort of got ahead, snuck ahead a little bit there.
This one's still at 12-10.
12-10.
Probably was a dead end last end, we would think.
Yeah, that's the Mackay girls, I believe, are leading by 2.
And the other game's got away a little too, I think.
The other one, here comes Robbie with his technology.
Well, it's gone 15-8. So
that's the latest and greatest from the updated scores, and I'm sure you appreciate that. And thank you, Robbie, for being able to do that. And he's off for a well-earned cup of tea. I'll tell you what, we've got some flies around here, haven't we?
I'm not going to swat anymore. I knocked the headgear
off.
off.
I saw you do that before.
You thought I was going to hit you on the head.
I did. I ducked. But they're not small flies either. They're quite large. You can recognise their faces.
They're tasty.
Are they?
There's not many of them.
Well, there's a few hanging around here. You get 8 or 10 land on your back.
Oh, come on.
They all flap their wings together. Your feet would leave the ground. So here comes Lorelle Hofstetter. She's just sort of bounced into those two front ones of Margaret McAdam's.
It didn't help much, though.
No, it didn't at all. And Barbara McDonald's. Now, she's out there. She appears to have pretty decent grass, in my opinion, from where we're sitting. And I've gone the early crow, and I haven't mucked it up this time, have I, Jimmy?
That's pretty hot. It was if you were a delayed telecast.
Well, she's got a toucher there, and if Robbie gives a replay on that, which you can't because he's not here, I'll bet you anything you like she gets a toucher again.
Yeah, I'll bet she does.
Here comes Lorelle, and well,
she's not going to be short.
No,
she's going to have a little look.
Well, she's got the right sort of weight to bounce around a bit here.
Oh, damn it!
Oh, she's damn well hit the thing up. Well, that makes they've got 2 now to room, so
a bit better, but because they can't knock it in again.
No, she'd probably knock her own in. Now, Barb's gone out, and she might, in fact, be out a little too far this time. And indeed she is, and her weight's not too bad. Well, she's coming home now, but not quite enough, I don't think.
You want to swap for here when you come back? I'll probably have to do something.
Okay, so I think the Taroom girls would be holding 2. I think the indication was as the leads head back to the mat.
We haven't got any bowls up to Jack Eye, which is a bit of a what happens. We hopefully will see Wendy reach this. If she misses, to finish a metre behind.
We've got John and Judith Barriston, is it?
Yep.
Watching. And Jim, tell us something about those folks.
Again, Johnny Barriston, he's a mate of Possums, actually, from Mackay, and he plays at Harvey Bay these days.
Okay.
Harvey Bay at Urangan. We call that Harvey Bay, I suppose, but Johnny Barriston is a well-accomplished bowler, and he's always around the place when we venture down towards Harvey Bay, Urangan area.
Well, that's and that's the beauty of having a co-commentator, because there's lots of these folks that plenty I do know. There's lots that I don't, but there's not too many you don't know, Jimmy.
Well, you don't know Possum. You could be lucky about that.
I've met a few possums in my time, but I'm not sure if I know this one. Now, Wendy, she wouldn't be too happy with either of those bowls. She's dropped one fairly well short, and then that one's gone nearly out of the screen.
Lucky they're wide rinks.
Anyway,
they're
look,
maximum 5 metres. The rinks, you can see that may have been off on a usual width of green.
You're right, indeed.
The greenkeeper's got them at maximum width for this event.
That's right, and well, there's only 4 games going on the green, so you have the ability to do that, don't you?
Well, yes, you can see by the blue lines what the normal width of the green is, where the movement is. That on a normal, when they're set in 7s, that bowl would be off by about 18 inches.
Yes, that's correct.
Looking at the line there, and it's still on by playing the 5 metre maximum rule.
That's it.
May not even be maximum, might be 5.2, but they're at the maximum length at the moment.
Now, Lorelle, the Elliott Heads ladies are 2 down, so they've had a bit of a powwow.
Lorelle's not going to be short.
No, she's up and at 'em, get 'em. That's what's happened here.
She's a bowl wide.
What's she going to do? Oh, she's knocked the head around a bit, and they're still 2 down. Okay, so we always thought she might be playing a bit of crunch weight, and that's what happened there, but didn't quite get the result.
We still haven't got a reel backward, but she'll be playing the same shot between her own 2 bowls there, hoping to come up with some joy.
Now, Barb's, this is going to be a pretty handy little bowl here, I would imagine, because I don't think that Lorelle's going to be short.
Things could go bad with not much behind. But
well, that's right. She's got to be very careful here, because
fortune favours the brave, and she'll be after it.
Yeah, well, she's not going to be short, is she?
She's closer this time.
She's in the area again, so we're watching
She's a lot closer.
She's going to probably crack on her own front one, is she? She did. Oh, no, she missed it. Well, now, there's still 2 down, so
she didn't get the same weight as she had.
Now, Barb has got the opportunity to draw another shot here, and she'll certainly be trying to do that. She's pinched. Well, she's got a narrower line than what she had. It all depends on her weight now. If it runs,
no.
She's going to pull up short. Okay, so
a good skipper's shot, you call that? Yeah. Didn't upset the head when they were
now
holding.
The Taroom
2 or 3.
Are claiming 2. I think it's only 2. Okay, so they claim 2, so they'll put the score level. Now this is getting pretty exciting now. Not that it hasn't been already, but it's certainly getting exciting now, isn't it? After 14 ends,
well,
it's 14 all.
We're down to the stage when it's starting to count and hurt.
Well, this is when, like mental, this is where the mental approach comes into it, doesn't it? Because you can they've really they got a knuckle down, and they've really played well, the whole four of them. And I'm rather pleased that we selected this game. Well, not that we did; we had nothing to do with it. But this is probably the closest of all the four matches that are in progress at the moment.
In actual fact, we sought your ideas and then threw them straight out of the window.
Well, that's usually what my wife does. So.
There's no truth in that at all.
It's the The leader of the opposition is in charge of everything in my place. Don't you worry about that.
Do you have a Minister for War?
Well, that's her as well. She occupies dual roles. Now, Robbie's just informed us we might have missed an end or something there, but it's 15-14 in favour of Taroom. And
might have been 3 shots. We weren't too sure whether it was 2 or 3.
Well, they indicated 2, and when the fingers went up, we didn't quite see, did we?
No.
So Margaret McAdam has left that one in sort of fresh air.
We're back in business here.
We are with Wendy Campbell, who's played a very lovely first bowl.
No, I think it was 3 last in. It looked a bit like 3 on the screen, even though that indicated 2 at one stage to the skips.
Yep. And you can see, ladies and gentlemen, you can see that undercover area on the top right of your screen. There's quite a few pokes. It's a lovely barbecue top area, isn't it, Jimmy?
Yep.
Over there, and it's undercover. And you can see on top of that is the upstairs area, which overlooks the other green.
Both greens.
Oh, well, both, of course, yeah.
Both greens. I'm sure there's been a few beverages taken.
Oh, I reckon.
On top of that, watching some bowls games.
Oh, I have no doubt about that.
Another good shot here. Very handy spot.
Yeah, she's come back behind, and she won't be too disappointed with that. Now, there's 2 shots there to Elliott Heads girls.
Here comes Ronnie with his run.
Ronnie's done the run on the men's scores. So those of you that are waiting for updated scores for the men on the top green, here they come.
Quick update is 10-all in the first game between Nanango and Marion on 13 ends. They're 10-all. Newell and Moore further in front at 17-4 against the Marlin Coast. What I call the main game is the Lurch and Howie against Johnny Martin and Craig Hall. Hall and Martin have scored the last 3 shots to get back to 7-14. 13 ends, so there's 7 the difference. And the other game is Jay Singh has scored the last 4 shots to go in front, 13-11 on 12 ends in the game between the Summit and Toowoomba.
Well, there you go.
So we still have 2 games very close, and Johnny Martin and Craig Hall are hanging in at 7-14 against Rice and Howie.
And thanks to Ronnie for those updates, and he's done a marvellous job. He's up and down like a jack-in-a-box chicken nose spout for you. And that's part of what the program's all about.
Here comes a
miss.
Near nothing. Might be second shot.
It could be. It's either 1 or 2 to the.
I think it's second shot.
To the Elliott head. Yes, we can see out through the window that it might. The front green bowl is definitely the shot. And here comes Lorelle once again, and she's sailing through.
Just that little bit wide, or as much as anything.
But once again, we're proud to announce that
I did that one when you were hidden away.
Oh, did you really? Okay.
You have no problems. The boss gave me a clip on the arm,
should have
but
relied you.
You could easily do it again.
No, it's all right. We'll save it for a bit later.
But
do it again?
Yeah. See that fly there? That's a bigger one. That one. Oh, he heard me.
If I had one on my screen the other day, it was so big I thought it was a bowl.
Come on. You thought it was second shot.
Well, I thought that there
but it was
ladies,
crawling.
I thought there was ladies with 3 down, and then all of a sudden the fly was so big and it started to move. I thought,
And you're not supposed to drink when you're commentating.
I thought I said another one opened that fly, but they had 3. Now they've only got 2. Okay, live streaming, as we've already mentioned, we'll mention again, is proudly brought to you by the and a slip and a miss. Proudly brought to you by the Bowls Gold Coast Tweed media team, and by Bowls Queensland and the Toowoomba region. Bowls Queensland and the Toowoomba region are the major sponsors of the live streaming of the 2019
Hold your breath.
Bowls.
Oh, it's not quite here.
Short.
Keep going.
Bowls Queensland champion of club champion finals, and we'd like to thank them for support. And needless to say, we thank the Bowls Queensland match committee, the markers, the umpires, the greenkeepers, the bar staff, the bistro staff for their tireless efforts in making this event run smoothly. And let's not forget the hat check girl.
The hat check girl.
Yeah, she looks after your umbrella in case you have to get a ticket.
I don't think
Yeah,
that
silly.
too many of the younger brigade know about the hat
No,
check girl.
but no, because they don't have umbrellas, do they? And hats.
We don't have umbrellas at
Now,
Pagara because it
here we
doesn't
go.
rain.
Here we go.
We're 2 now for Elliott Heads.
Yes, that would be for sure.
And we have just behind Jacko Bowl that needs to be sat on or rolled once.
Yes, it needs to be sent flying, doesn't it? Well,
Oh, well, they wouldn't want to knock it in too far.
no, they wouldn't. But if you got a decent hold on that, you could bring a few more in. I'm sure that's what Lorelle would be looking to try and do.
Well, she's got the 3 coming
She's
in.
got
One of
3
them already counts.
Exactly. She got 3 coming in, but it's not her turn. So this is Barbara.
She's after it.
Oh, I don't know. Is she wide enough?
She's got weight.
Oh, she's going to crack it. Oh, well, that sort of hasn't helped that much, has it?
She made it 3 down, I'd
Well,
say.
I'd say you're right, but it hasn't altered Lorelle's shot because she's got all that ammo coming in on the left-hand side.
I know what I'd be doing. I'd be getting behind. Well, she has one behind on the left-hand side of the screen.
Yes, she does. I think she'd be still trying to play that same shot. She's trying to get to that darker coloured bowl on the left-hand side.
Here she comes. She's not far.
Well, it's a bit hard to tell. We're looking at it from the other side.
Far away.
Oh,
That's her.
Well, no.
In the way. See, I couldn't see it on that.
No. Well, we know what you're up against, Robert. But that is actually knocked.
Don't fucking call me Robert.
I'm sorry, Robert.
We're not too sure whether that affected the 3 score down to 1.
Well, it's only 2 now. I think it was indication that it's 2. So now we've got a pretty decent view of this side of it. Now this is
That's
what's
changed
that done?
things.
Yes, that's altered things up. Now Elliott,
That's 1,
Elliott's girl are
2,
claiming
3.
1. They're only claiming 1. They appear to be only claiming 1.
Oh, that Jacko one we've
Yeah.
been talking about.
Yeah, that was the one that needs to
We'll
be
come and have a look.
removed.
The wise thing to do.
Well, that's part of what we're allowed to do, and I saw a couple of players only come halfway down yesterday, and of course I don't imagine that they would have been any better in form for coming halfway, but if you start to move towards the head, I believe you should come all the way. And that's exactly what Lorelle's done. She was probably called down by Wendy, but she might have decided to come on her own decision. But she's probably going to play her backhand with the view to getting to that Jack-eye dark-coloured bowl of the Taroom ladies.
Don't know what that was.
I don't know. I think, yeah, but see, Robbie's gone out there just to remind the
Just
girls.
going to tell her to get out of the road.
Yeah, he didn't take his piece of 4B2 with him, so he's just going to be polite.
I didn't realise what he was running through.
No, well, he does that, and
That's where I like to stand, right behind the head.
Sooner or later, he's got to let this lady know.
She's quiet.
And she's not saying
She's
anything.
quiet. She's going to take one. She's.
I don't know what he's done, but it hasn't made any difference. There's only one bowler come, so.
Now it's already down.
Yeah, but there was only. I think Elliott Head's girls are claiming one shot, and the tape's coming out. In the meantime, we say good morning, Alan Law, your friend and mine, everybody's friend, has joined the coverage. Thanks, Al. Good morning. And Alan's one of our professional sharers of this telecast. He does quite often. Lukey Day's watching. Good morning, Luke.
Sorry, I wasn't on then. Who are you talking about? The lawman?
Big Alan Law was, he's out and about. He's always... good morning, Munch. Darren Mullins has joined and he says good evening. Or not good evening, he says hello to the two of us. The Thomas and Slee show.
You've... have the Kedron Brook pub under control, have you, Munch?
Munch has got everything under control, and you don't get in them past him, I'll give you the tip. And he's a lovely bloke, Munch. I've always liked him, and he's got some history in this event because he won the men's singles in 2005.
What a lovely year.
Representing
Hamilton. Oh, we must have had a marvellous bowls coordinator that year.
Yes, indeed you did. Thanks, Jim, for bringing that up.
Did you ever buy any Ozstar off Alan Law when Alan Law was starting Ozstar up?
Buy any Ozstar? No.
He was the Ozstar man.
Was he really?
Mm.
Well, I never knew that. We had Ozstar back in the late 90s.
Well, there you go.
On the Gold
we had
Coast.
Alan Law back in the late 90s.
We used to pirate some channel from Brisbane. I can't remember what it was to get the AFL until they figured out what we were all doing.
We had Alan Law back in the late 90s. In fact, we had him in the early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what he was trying to sell me when he was trying to sell me Ozstar.
Oh, he tried to sell you anything.
Tell me about it.
He's good at
Managed
it too.
to sell me Ozstar anyway,
Yeah,
and I didn't even know what it was.
No, well, I didn't. We took it on. Melanie Haylett. Now, Melanie, very good evening. Melanie, who's checking in and watching the program all the way from England.
Gee, I thought they only watched the rugby union.
Well, she'll be, she will be watching it, won't she? She'll be all geared up for the final.
You see Robbie cringed then?
Yes, he did. We don't like to talk about that.
He cringed when I said rugby union.
They're all black and blues. I think they're still bloody crying their eyes out, aren't they? So now let's get back to the scoreboard here, and here's a good-looking shot there from Margaret, and she's trailed it back behind Wendy's bowl.
It's made those first two bowls look fairly average.
Oh, indeed it does. They're so far short, they're hardly in the picture. But Gailey White-Tie is watching. Good morning, Gail, and very good morning to you, and more than likely Mars there with you somewhere. And I hope you're enjoying the coverage, folks, as much as we are enjoying bringing it to you. We've still got plenty of action to go the next 2 or 3 days. I understand we'll be on the same. Well, we're on the same green this afternoon for a second round.
Wendy's the lead, isn't it?
Yes, Wendy.
It's Wendy Campbell. Yeah.
I'm just going to go talk to her.
Okay.
I think Wendy's going to get the message from the boss to not
Yeah.
cover
now,
the TV.
Yes. Well.
The lady from Taroom's doing a good
Lorelle,
job of it at the moment.
Yes, and she's taking a long sip of her water, which is.
That was lucky it wasn't a couple of people I know. It'd be
Yeah,
a
she's
long
gonna-
sip of something else.
Oh, she got out of the way now. And here comes, well, that's crikey. Well, it's nothing to write home about, but anyway, the girls are playing fairly well, and we're enjoying bringing the coverage to you. Now, this afternoon, folks, we're on the same green, and we'll be on the same rink, I believe, rink 4. But we're
You
going
are.
in the opposite direction,
Yes,
and it'll be a men's game.
it'll be a men's game.
It'll be a second
Without
round.
having a crystal ball, I even know what it is, but I might get overruled by this afternoon, so I
Well,
won't
that's-
say anything.
Well, Jimmy, that's your department. We're in the dark when it comes
Oh.
to that situation.
I've
we
never
just-
seen you in the dark
Well,
before.
no, it's not a pretty sight, I can assure you.
But I've got to love you and leave you for a while.
Yeah, well, just be
and
careful about that love bit. I
I
don't want-
wasn't. I was thinking more of just leaving you,
Okay.
but
Thanks for your contribution, sir.
I will go and fix up what I have to fix up, and hopefully I'll get another run
You're
in the
willing-
middle of the afternoon
Yeah.
game this
Well,
afternoon.
there'll be no question about that. Your presence is always welcome, and your knowledge is second to none.
Oh, stop it! What are we going to do with Brian Marshall?
Now, he's talking there. You better read this. Well, he won't be back today.
Fiona's got something on there.
Now, Cameron, just before you started, Cameron Kearney's joined us from Billawheeler. I
Yep.
think that's how you pronounce it, isn't
Yep,
it?
Bill Wheeler.
And Alan Law, can you read that?
Tell Jim I still have his
He's-
quick from Surfers Paradise days. Ha ha.
Law, man, he's laughing. Fiona all must know about that because
She was
she's
there.
laughed her head off as well.
She was there.
Some of the things that we get up to.
That
in
was
Law
Surfers Paradise Premier League.
Okay.
Lawman was the boss at Surfers Paradise Premier League in those days.
He's the boss. He's the boss
Him
wherever he
and
goes.
Jeff McLennan, I think, was around
And I was a
there.
member there too.
It was compulsory for Hamilton to stay for another 2 hours after the game before our bus trip home.
That's fair enough.
And there was an array of coloured wigs that people could wear while they were singing karaoke.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm so glad that the phones that exist today weren't out in those days.
Yeah,
Or
because
Lawman would have
he
sent
would
that
have
out
all
on
the photos.
one of those little things.
Yeah, he would have all the photos, and he'd post it far and wide on Instagram and Twitter.
In actual fact, Wayne Masters scared everybody because he could actually sing.
Is that right?
Yeah. Couldn't play bowls, but he could sing.
What's happened there now? Sorry, just interrupting you. I don't know much about that singing caper, so we'll get back to the bowls. And it appears so. It appears as though the.
We've got one shot to
I think the
Elliott
Elliott
heads.
heads.
Right on the tee.
It's got that green bowl, which is the shot.
But I'll bid adieu. See you soon.
Jimmy, thank you very much for your contribution and your expert commentary and knowledge. So I think you've sent him. Good on your Lawman. You've sent our guest commentator flying. He doesn't want to hear what you've got to say. Okay, so here we go. Elliott heads, ladies. Now the schedule, you can see it's 15, all 15-15. So it can't get any closer than that, folks, can it? And Elliott heads, girls, holding one shot with the green bowl on the left-hand side. Okay, so Jimmy, I'll let him know about those comments, Alan and Fiona, a bit later. But he departed the scene here at the moment. I think you might have sent him flying. He didn't want to sit around and listen to what you had to say. Oh, good grief! All right, so here comes the Taroom lady, Barbara McDonald. And what's she going to do here? Oh no, is that Barbara? No, it's not. That's Margaret McAdam, I think. And it appears as though Margaret, I can't see directly the head, I'm only looking at the pictures you've got. But I'm kind of suggesting that might be the shot. No, it is. It was Barbara McDonald. Now here comes Lorelle, and she's going flying through there. So quite clearly using that sort of weight, she is one down. And here comes Barb again. And she's gone out with the chooks. She's just going to come back into play, as a matter of fact. So That's what happens. So now there's only one shot being claimed, I believe, by the Taroom ladies, and there's bowls flying in all directions here. Okay, so Robbie's just is checking out the scoreboards there, and it appears to be 16 all. All right. No. So I think we've already mentioned to you people that once again this afternoon we're on the same rink with all of our equipment, but they will be playing the opposite direction, so we're going to need to shift a few cameras and things around. But we will have a men's second round robin match on the rink 4, and at this particular moment the media team of sitting here watching everything unfold, we have no idea what game we're going to be allocated to bring you. That is out of our hands. That's all. Now there's a lovely first bowl coming in there from Margaret. Okay, Robbie's just informed me that we're going to bring up the ladies' scores. Now, you can see 15. I can tell you it's 15-6 after 12 ends. So they appear to be a little way behind the others, but we understand there've been a few dead ends there. So now once again there's lady in the way, but there's a 13. That's after 16 ends. No, I can't read that. 13-18. Oh, Robbie said 13-18 to that game. And the other one, there you go, that's as clear as a bell. 17-10, sorry, on 14 ends. And the other scoreboard of 13-18 indicated that the Mackay girls were in front there. So that's back to Gateway. There's 15-6. 13, I think that's the 13-18 score. Mackay leading, and there's 10-17. So we've got those covered for you. It'll be another 5 minutes or so before we can bring you some updated scores in the men's, which we're desperately trying to throw at you as frequently as we can, because we know you're all interested in what's happening completely around the club, not just on one rink. Okay, so the Taroom ladies here are holding 2 shots. As you can see, it's 16 wrapped around the flagpole in all directions, 16, 16, 16. Now that, to me, would be the third shot, so Lorelle Hofstetter is going to be desperately trying to get something in amongst all of those, and she's done a damn good job from what I can see. And, well, there you go. How do you like that? Yes, indeed, that is the shot, the lovely shot there from Lorelle. And it's forced Barb onto her opposite hand, and she's coming down here looking pretty fancy as well. And just going to slide underneath, which is a shame. Picking the jack up would have been good. No need for Lorelle to change her hand. She's just decided to play exactly the same if she can. And she might be a little bit short of, a both, isn't she? Weight and grass. Weight was good, her grass was just a bit narrow. But that's a handy bowl there anyway. So there's a changeover going on here, and the ladies having a powwow mid-conference, and which is he's always pretty good. Just to discuss the situation of the game and the head, which is communication between teammates is so important, isn't it? Okay, Bob MC is watching, and Peter Pistol Blackburn is back, or whether he's gone out for a beer and then come back, I don't know. Probably since we first come on, he'd be into his fourth stubby, wouldn't he? On your pistol. Okay, so here's Margaret McAdam coming down, and she's going to, looks like she's going to sit Lorelle's bowl there. She did. Lorelle's calling Wendy to play on her backhand. There it comes. She's got pretty well grasped by the looks of this one. She had perfect grasp, didn't she? Just dropped her weight a little bit. And Margaret's been asked to change her hand to try and reach that jack-eye bowl of Lorelle's. Yes, indeed, and she's looking to be pretty handy here. I wouldn't mind betting she'll get this, but whether she gets it enough, yes, indeed, she did. And Lorelle's indicated that they're now down and not too sure how many. Here comes Wendy, and she got better weight with it, she has. And she now got to stop in time. No, she didn't, and the Taroom ladies have one shot with that bowl, jack high on the right, I believe it is. But there's still a few bowls to come, and anything could happen. But it's a very close game, and it's just fortunate for all of the viewers that we managed to, not that it was any of our doing, but the game is the closest of all the four that are in progress. So there's excitement happening. And there's a lovely bowl. Oh, it's just not going to quite turn enough. So the Taroom ladies are still holding the one. And Lorelle's electing to stay on that backhand, and she's going to be fairly close here. I think she's played this pretty well, indeed. And that's the shot as indicated by Wendy. Here's Barb's final bowl, and what's she going to do here? If she gets around that, she's a chance. Now it's created a raffle here, but I don't think it's worked in her favour. It's gone straight back to Wendy's two bowls, and they're now holding two. So Lorelle has a pretty decent opportunity here to add to the score, and she's out there quite beautifully from what I can see. She's going to get back home enough. I don't think she will. Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate there by Barbara. So there's two more shots there to the Elliott Hedge girls, and just quickly while they're kicking heads around there, just repeating for you, though, folks, that are not aware, and I don't imagine there'll be too many of you, but history was created yesterday when the fours competition was completed, and the men and the women from the same club, for the very first time in the history of this event, have won the fours from the same club, and that was, of course, Tweed Heads, where the ladies of Kirraburg, Jessica Riambai, Claire Turley and Chloe Stewart won the gold medal against the ladies from Marucci. Sandra Laidlaw, Rose Rickson, Marion Coenzel and Connie Rickson. And the men, of course, were Max Jaffray, Calvin Kirkow, who playing second, and Kurt Brown and Wayne Turley won the men's. And it's the first time it's ever happened, and And you've got to keep in mind that it was the husband and wife team, or husband and wife in either side, and that's never happened before either. In Wayne and now what's happened there? Mr. and Mrs. Turley, of course. So that's a bit of history for you, in case you weren't aware. I'm sure most of you will be aware of the results, but not entirely sure that that was a history-making result. So now Wendy is holding shot here, and the second bowl's coming down, and poor old Margaret's thrown hers out a bit wide. Yes, indeed, and Wendy's been pretty happy with this one because she's just ducked under her front one and got a toucher there. She's now holding 2, and Margaret's staying on her backhand. I think she'll certainly be looking at repairing what happened with the first one, but I'm not entirely sure she has. She's well, there you go. Peter Balderson, good morning, Pete, from up Mackay. He's probably with Pistol. Veronica Elliott is watching, and so is Rhonda Holmes. Good morning, ladies. We have a special guest commentator stepping up to the microphone, and everybody will know Christina Pavlov. Removing the hat, on goes the headphones. Good morning, Chrissy.
Good morning, Gary. You've been doing a fabulous job here.
Well, thank you for saying that, and things can only get better now that you're here. Talk to us about anything you want, Chrissy, because your knowledge of the game is second to none apart from Jim C.
Yeah. So the game that we're watching on the live stream, I'm just getting it in my program here.
Yeah, you sort it out and let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
The Elliott Hedge ladies she's just had she's got one shot because of the green bowls, and this is Lorelle coming down with her second one, and she looks pretty handy indeed, doesn't she?
Absolutely.
Just
yeah,
slip
just
the beautiful
going
weight.
across
Yeah,
the
but
head.
that could very well count. It's sometimes hard for us to tell. So, Chris, happy birthday for tomorrow.
Oh, thank you in advance.
Yeah, well, we want to announce that on the live stream because you're going to get so many wishes now because everyone knows about it.
Yeah, very good bowl there.
A good shot because that's cut whatever the count was. It's certainly now only one, isn't it?
That's right.
And that would be from the skip for the Taroom girls. That's Barbara McDonald.
That's right. Yep.
But Barb's also got that one behind. That's a very handy little catcher there, Chris, isn't it?
In a perfect position.
Indeed. Tell us anything you want about. And we got to congratulate you and the lady on air. Congratulate you and the ladies on a tremendous effort down at Edelong in the senior sides.
It was a wonderful week and a fantastic performance from all the Queensland girls down there. She's just placed that bowl in a very good position.
Yeah, that's
Put
a
nice
good shot,
catcher.
isn't it? Yep, terrific.
And, big shout out to Louise Whitten, who played outstanding bowls the whole week and well-deserved selection into the Australian Senior Jackaroos team.
Yes, that was a definite. I think that was a no-brainer, wasn't it? Because she managed to, I think, win all the games, didn't she?
Yes,
as a skip.
Yep.
Yeah.
Her rink won 7 out of 7.
7 out. We can't do any better than that, can you?
Not at all. And all the Queensland teams, each team, I think, finished in the top 6.
It's a tremendous effort, isn't it? And because you were mentioned, and I think most of the viewers would be aware that the Queensland girls in the senior sides have won 4 out of the last 5 years.
Yes.
One overall.
Yeah, they won the gold medal for the last 4 out of the 5 years. They
Yeah.
missed out last year, but came back firing this year.
Came back on all cylinders and
Certainly did.
went right through. Well
Mhm.
done, girls, and that's
Yeah, so no change there at the head, some bowls being placed behind,
Yep.
and I think they're looking at what the skips are going to do now.
sure thing. And I'm sitting here in elite company because not only were you down there at Ettalong strutting your prowess, but Robbie Allen, of course, who's the director of everything here, he was in the men's team, wasn't he? So I'm in elite company here.
Well, I'll have to say the last time the men won the gold medal was when you were in the side, Gary.
Oh, so long ago, I've almost forgotten. I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you, Christina.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well, that was down at Warilla. Well,
Yeah.
the funny part about it is that I got the flick the next year and I was playing lead for Neville Jenkins and he's still there. He's lasted his time, hasn't he?
My word. And again, I think Neville finished third or fourth on the
look,
skips ladder.
he was here yesterday.
Oh,
He was here yesterday watching the fours, naturally, because of his Tweed-edged club mates playing. Now, we got
Here
you've got the Elliott Hedge ladies
Yes.
who are holding just one.
she's looking to draw another one in
Absolutely, and she's not that far away,
She
is she,
isn't.
Chrissy? Have a look at this.
there. What a great bowl.
Well, that's sensational.
Very, very good.
Well, that's better than very good, because that's got Barb McDonald scratching where she's not itchy because they're now they're now 2 down. That's a wonderful shot because
Yeah.
she really didn't want. She couldn't afford to touch that.
She didn't want
With
to
any
finish
weight, no.
jack high either.
No.
No, that's perfect.
She couldn't afford to touch the shot bowl. Now that's
That's
fantastic.
Yeah.
But not only is it so fantastic, under pressure, and at this stage of the game, that's given her an extra 2 shots, and they now lead 20-16. After what Robbie, I believe, is now 18 ends, is it? Or has he already updated that?
Oh, he's quick off the mark,
Oh,
Robbie.
he's
No,
on.
it is 18 ends. Yeah. And I must
Okay.
say, big congratulations to Robbie Allen. Outstanding series down in Ettalong with the senior sides. The player of the series for the
Yep,
men
yep.
and the best performing rink for the men.
Well, I'm sharing the same room with him in the motel, and he's told me 6 times, Chris.
Has he?
Excuse me. I'm tired. Look, mate, you know what I'm like. I'm just having a lend to you. Ronnie, we'll just pick an appropriate moment. Sorry? They're talking in the background. We'll just pick an appropriate, because we've got some more updated scores from the men's up on the top rink. I'll just quickly go through those. Josh Fisher and Dave Williams from the Nango, 16, leading Wally, Clyden and Kerry Ollett from Marion, 13. And just coming back there, Wendy has just drawn a lovely shot. She's a little bit short, but she's not that far away. John Newell and Jason Moore from Hamilton, 22, leading Jason Walford and Mitch Stiles, 8. That's on 18 ends. And there's
A lovely bowl there.
from Margaret McAdam. She played her backhand. She's trailed Jack. Where are we now? Darren Stanley and Robert Capelli, 12, and Chris Forbes and Jai Singh are 17, and that's on 16 ends. And the match that where's
fairly
the other one?
handy reply there from Lorelle. Just
Yes,
in
it was,
behind.
Chris. Dropping about 2 or 3 feet, I think you'll find that is.
Mm-hmm.
John Martin and Craig Hall from Gracemere, they're 9. And Nathan Rice and Andrew Howie from Helensvale are 20. And that's after 17 ends. So that's that's the update, the latest update we have from the men's round 1.
Margaret just dropping a little short there. I'm sure she would have liked to have been
Right.
up matching Lorelle's bowl.
Well,
there.
she would have liked to have covered
Mm.
the back green one, wouldn't she? Diesel's watching. Good morning, Deanne Robertson.
Hi, Deezer.
And to Chrissy saying good morning.
It was Dee's birthday on, when was that? Thursday,
Yeah,
I
not
think.
long ago, wasn't it? A couple of
No.
days, well, 2 days ago. I think it was the 23rd we decided, wasn't it?
24th.
24th.
is Dee.
Cameron Cooney is asking, is this the final? And it's already been answered by Aileen Wiley. No, this is just the first round of a round-robin series that the girls and men are playing. They've got another game this afternoon, which will be round 2. And round 3, here's another good shot from Lorelle. That's a lovely
No,
bowl.
that's Wendy, isn't it?
No, that's Lorelle
Have I got them?
Hofstetter. Yes, I did too, because it's mixed up on mine.
Oh, okay, yeah. In the program, it's around the other way.
That's
yeah.
exactly what we fell for earlier. Now, Robbie's got the scores of the other rinks coming up as soon as this lady... Oh, there we go. Now, that's on another rink. That's the Mackay girls. They're leading 19-14.
Great bowl. Well done.
Oh, that's a
So
good
that's
shot.
Barbara.
That's, yes, that's Barbara McDonald. Yeah, see, I made the same mistake as you did.
Yeah.
So the Mackay girls are leading 19, whatever you saw there. And on the other rink, they've played 16 ends. And there's 21 to Ackroyd and Stud.
11.
And 11 to the other ladies. So that's after 16 ends. And there's the Mackay girls 19-14 and the 19 for after 18 ends, and the Gateway girls 22 to 7. So that's Debbie Logan and Glennis Reid.
Yes, the Gateway girls have certainly pulled away there. They're
They
playing
have.
some very, very good bowls on that
And
ring.
they were the ones who stopped Chloe Stewart from making a 3-way sweep in this, isn't it?
They did.
Yeah, and
yes.
young Jessie Alphabet. Okay, so back to the situation at hand. It looks as though our Taroom ladies are holding one with the front bowl, is it?
One with the front bowl and looks like
Possibly.
a measure for the second.
Yeah, possibly 2. Okay, so this is Wendy Campbell. She got it mixed around. You had the same problem in your program as I had in
yeah,
mine.
it's round the other
My
way.
prompt
so.
sheet, yeah. We had sorted that out. One of the ladies from Elliott Heads actually came on and told us we had it the wrong way round.
Good on her.
Well, we appreciate that sort of thing because not everything works according exactly to plan down here. And here comes...
This is Barbara?
No, this
No,
is
sorry.
Margaret.
This is Margaret.
Margaret McAdam.
Yeah.
And she's a little bit wide there.
Mm-hmm.
Probably heavy as well. But if she had been the right weight, the right line, she could have got to Lorelle's yellow
Absolutely.
and blue bowl. So here comes Wendy again with the green bowls, and she's just going to slide
Just sliding
underneath.
there.
Yeah. The weather's been terrific for us, Chris, hasn't it? In the time that we've been here, Saturday, Sunday, and today.
Absolutely perfect. And today's actually a little cooler
It
than
sure
it's been
is.
the last few days. Bit
Yeah.
of cloud cover out there, but the greens are still running very, very well.
Beautifully well, and it's, as you say, it's certainly cooler in the. And there's hardly a breath of wind. If you look out and see that wing camera, it's a little bit windy, but not much.
Yeah, if you look at the flag on the top left-hand corner.
Well, you got to change your mind a bit, haven't you? Have a look at that. Nearly blow the milk out of your tea, wouldn't it? That's how much I know.
But you're quite protected down here on
You
this
are.
bottom green.
You are.
I've been up watching a bit of the play on the top green, and it's actually quite gusty.
Yeah,
up
it's
there.
probably windier up, a bit higher up, because they're elevated a bit, aren't they?
Correct.
Now, once again, we've got the Taroom ladies, and they appear to be holding 2 here, certainly 1, and they really do need to win this end because
They need to claw back on the
They do.
scoreboard.
They
Yeah,
can't-
this is the end to do it.
They can't afford, but have a look at this
Oh,
because
what a bowl.
Lorelle is going to say, well, you can put that in
Yeah,
your pipe
great
and smoke
bowl,
it.
Lorelle.
That's a great shot, especially when she was 2 down, and that
Mm-hmm.
that in itself is going to make it very difficult for the Taroom ladies because they really do need to win this end.
Yeah, and I like this instant action replay. Of the
Well,
shot.
this is
well done,
well,
Robbie.
this is the technology that we've all come to expect. And if he doesn't produce a couple of slow-mo replays, we think he's not
Yeah.
doing his job properly. He's just a master at all of this. And it's a tremendous setup, Chris, isn't it?
Oh, the technology is
wouldn't believe it.
incredible.
You wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, I believe it. It's not cheap to
No, it's certainly
get
not.
this type of technology and to get it working well. All credit to Robbie for that.
And the goal and Bowls Gold Coast Tweed and the support from Bowls Queensland. And there's the last now.
She's coming up to have a
Here
look
comes
at this.
Barb. She's coming down there and she's probably she's going to have a look at this.
What do you think she might play? She might come up on the forehand.
Well, I think
look
well, I would have thought that would be the shot she might elect to play.
Yeah, look to roll that toucher onto the
She,
jab.
I don't think she's got to get through that little gap, hasn't she?
Well, she can sit Lorelle's bowl.
She can?
roll that toucher.
But I don't think you're going to see anything short here. I seriously believe that. I don't know that she'd be going flat out though, but because you've got to take into account the bowls at the back, and they appear to have 3 out of the 4.
Yeah, it's at
bowls
towards the end
at
of the
the back.
game, they've got to make shots.
Now, what have we got here? We got a.
Oh. Well, she's played the other way.
She played the
Interesting.
opposite hand. So what she might. Oh,
Oh,
she had to miss that. She had a real chance, didn't she?
absolutely.
We didn't quite think. Well, well.
Look, you've got to play the shot you're confident in playing.
Absolutely.
And you've got to play the hand that you...
And that's exactly one of the reasons, Christina, why they come down to the head
Yes.
and have a look.
Yep.
Because quite often, as you would certainly be aware, the whole situation looks different from the mat end than when you get down and have a decent look at the head.
And the conditions, what the wind's doing, how the green's playing, where your bowls are going to turn, all that comes into account.
Okay, so that's one more shot now. They're starting to run out of ends here, Taroom ladies, aren't they? Because they're 5 behind.
Yes.
And the questions we've been asked, Greg Bostock, morning Bosto, he's watching.
Hey, bossy.
Cameron Cooney is asking, is Port Curtis in this now?
I haven't seen a Port Curtis. Is he talking about the ladies' team?
Well, I'm not sure.
Just quickly going through the program.
We're quickly having a look through just to refresh our own memories. Cameron.
Handy starter there. Weight's reasonable.
And it makes me believe that the Port Curtis,
No.
they're not represented in the pair. Well, not in the ladies that I can see. Now, where's the men's? Here we go. Port Curtis. Let me check the men's just quickly for you. No, they're not here, which makes me think they haven't made the final 8, have they? Okay, that answers that. Brian Stewart's watching. Morning, Brian. You're back again. Charmaine Sleeman is watching. Brad Harris is watching. Morning, Brad. And Cheryl Hutchison. Well, Cheryl's always roundabouts.
Yep.
A lovely lady, Shezza. Okay, now
Both leads finding their weight pretty well.
they have.
Just trying to get that line right.
I think that Wendy would be holding 2 shots there on the right-hand side, but I'm sure that Margaret's going to have something. Well, she looks to me to be a bit under here, don't you?
Yes. Oh, she might
She might slide off something, but perhaps not. Well, I think she's taken
one out.
She's taken one out, so now it's all up to Barb McDonald here to really start to create something, because they're 5 shots behind us and there's only this and the next to go. So if they were to lose this end, It would make it extremely difficult. All right, so it's impossible, but it's going to be extremely difficult to pick up the margin with just one end to go. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, that not only have we got this pairs competition to be completed today and tomorrow, but on Wednesday and Thursday...
Lorelle just sliding under
Yeah,
there,
she
but
is.
getting a bowl behind.
Wednesday and Thursday, we've got the singles.
Yes. Yeah.
And we've got our own, Chrissy, we've got our own nugget from our beloved Broadbeach. He'll be up here and he'll be trying his hardest, I'm sure he will.
Absolutely. And Nugget's playing very well at the
Well,
moment.
I've never known him not to. Little bugger. The score, Brad Harris. Good morning, Brad. I think we've already acknowledged your presence. He wants to know the score on the rink beside us, which is rink 3, and that's the someone's leading 20-11. Robbie,
Yeah.
I'm not too sure.
Julie Ezzy and Liz Parry are behind in that game. They've got
Okay.
11 shots and their opposition has 20-something. We've got a pole in the
Yeah,
way.
there's a bloody leg of the umbrella or something.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Julie Ezzy, that's from Salisbury, is it?
Yes.
And Liz Parry, they're
they're-
behind,
Mm-hmm.
did you say?
Yes, they are.
And they're playing,
The girls from Bribie Island.
okay, and the Bribie Island girls are leading 20-something to 11, and they're running out of ends like most others.
Yeah,
I
on
think
17.
17, I think it is, yeah. Okay, now back to our main. Does that answer your question, Brad? I presume so. Susan Jardine is saying she's got no picture. And Robbie...
As long as other people have a picture.
Well,
then
I don't know. It might, well, whether it's just Susan or...
It's all good.
It's all good. Robbie says it's all good.
Yeah.
Check your connection, Susan. You may have something unplugged there. That's what they tell you on TV, don't they? Or,
Yeah, very good effort there to try and move that shot bowl out. Just clip the side of it, but I think it's still there for shot.
Yes, it appears to be, but I don't know that the. Oh, here we go. We've got the ladies' score again.
You are so clever,
Oh,
Robbie.
he's brilliant, isn't he?
Yeah.
22-7 for Debbie Logan and Glennis Reid, who are leading there. Now the Mackay girls are leading 19-14 after 18 ends, and the rink 3. There it is. 20. We knew it was 20 something. It's 22. 22-11.
Yep.
On 17 ends, and
So,
the rink we're televising is rink 4.
Yeah. Now Lorelle called Wendy to come down and sit that shot bowl.
Yep. Well, you would have thought that, wouldn't you?
Yes, and played pretty good weight to do it, just a little wide.
She was. I don't think that they'd be overly panicky, would they? I mean, they might not be holding shot here.
No, they
And
just have to play
They
smart
just got to
bowls.
play safety first, and if they only happen to go down by one, it would mean that the
Absolutely.
Taroom ladies have to get 4 or more in the last
Oh,
one.
here comes
She's
in.
going to have a good shot here.
Absolutely.
That's a beauty.
Great.
But that
bowl.
appears that it might now be 2. And the girls...
Hopefully they'll signal.
well, Lorelle's got down at a pretty decent... That's the replay.
Play.
I hope it is. Indeed it is. That's a replay. So that's a nice soft toucher.
Nice
And
bowl.
didn't move the kitty far enough, I wouldn't think, to bring that green bowl into second shot.
Well,
although
certainly on our monitors it doesn't look
It
that
doesn't.
way.
No, it doesn't.
but,
Does it? But it's so difficult to tell sometimes from the angle that we're watching. The same as what you are at home, folks. It's very hard to know. We've got good old Ronnie. Ronnie Somerville's. He's off and running again. He's gone upstairs to get some more men's scores, and they will all be very close to completing their games up there, I think.
Lorelle's looking to sit second shot or touch shot bowl. No, just a bit shy.
Special K's watching. Calvin Kirkow. And good morning to you, Cal, and once again, congratulations to you and the boys for a splendid effort yesterday. And Barbara Ellsworthy says she's watching from Bundaberg.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So, are they holding 2 here, Chrissy, did you think?
Yes, they are. That.
Okay, there was an
Just-
indication, Now, what's Barbara done here? Is she trying to set the green one, is she?
Yeah. Yeah, replay.
Oh, okay.
Move the jack a bit over.
I didn't. Why'd you tell me these things? Okay, well, they've definitely got 2 now, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
And, oh, she's got beautiful weight there, just underneath
very
it a bit.
good.
You start to wonder whether that front bowl, no, well, that wouldn't count now, would it? The bowl in front, the grey one. Bob
From this
McCauley's
ankle,
watching.
it's very hard to tell.
Bob McCauley's watching. Colin Hayes is back with us again, and John and Judith Burriston, I think they joined us yesterday as well. And very good morning to you and everyone else. So we're getting down to the hurtful part here, where the Taroom ladies really need to pick up some sort of, not quite a handful, but a little bit less than a handful would be good, wouldn't it? They look as though they're holding 2 at the present time. And Barbara McDonald's playing her last bowl. She was looking to try and she was looking to try and sit those 2 bowls to the right hand, or 2 or 3 bowls to the right hand side of the kitty, wasn't she? So they've taken the one out. They're looking at the second one, and the measure's coming out, and it's gone back in. No, it's come out again. So here we go, down. No, they've decided. What did we see? 2, was it?
2. I think I couldn't see the fingers
No, it's not easy, is it, sometimes? Well, I think it's 2. We're just going to check the scoreboard there, and it
No, only
was 1, was it?
1.
Okay, so that's okay. Well, that surprised everybody. But that, as we mentioned, Chris, that sometimes that happens, doesn't it? Because
Oh, look, just
where
the-
you're sitting, we're watching what you're watching at home, folks, and it's sometimes very, very misleading. So we don't like to try and be too specific on how many shots, but we've fallen for that before.
Yeah, we actually rely on the players to give a really good,
Well,
strong
we
indication.
do
of what's
because they
happening.
know better than us, and we're sometimes on an angle where we can't quite be specific.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're into the final end here on the televised rink, folks, as you can see, and the ladies from Elliott Heads, Wendy Campbell and Lorelle Hofstetter are 4 shots ahead, leading against Margaret McAdam and Barbara McDonald from Taroom. So now this is the final end. A draw is a draw. There's no extra end played. A draw is a draw.
They've rolled a slightly longer end.
Yep. And I think it's a pretty fair start here, don't you?
Yes, might just travel past. That's
Yeah,
pretty
but
fair.
that on such a length of end as that,
Yeah.
Chrissy, Mark McAdam started that off pretty well, I
She
would think.
has. She's gone through about
Well,
nearly 3 feet.
well, they're still in the mix. If you drop them short, you're not likely to get a 4, are you?
Absolutely.
But have a look at Wendy Campbell here. She had something to say about that. And
Good reply.
she's drawn the shot. So that's at least they're both behind, aren't they? Because you're not.
No, I
you
mean,
know.
if Margaret keeps a pretty similar weight, she's giving herself an opportunity
Absolutely,
to touch
she
the
will.
jack, perhaps too.
To move it across her own bowl, she'd be pretty happy, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
She got the weight, I think she has. She's not too far away.
She's coming in nicely.
That's a lovely bowl
Yep.
too, mind you. That's that is the shot.
Well done, Margaret.
So yeah, that's 2 excellent bowls. When you need 4, you need 4 on the last end. That's 2 first-class bowls. Okay, so Wendy's...
Coming.
Now, wasn't that...
Yes.
Oh, have a look at that. Now, that's a wonderful shot. And that's the sort of situation you get into. Like, you know damn well you can't let the opposition take 4 off you. And she's come in with a sensational shot here. She's dragged the kitty straight back across her own bowl, sat alongside it, and she's now got 2. And Lorelle Hofstetter, she's gone into paroxysms of uncontrolled mirth. She's absolutely laughing, Chris, isn't she?
My word.
She's put both her hands above her head and she's clapped her fist red raw.
Well, Barbara's making sure she's not short on
No,
this
well,
one.
she's not,
She's
but
trying to make something happen.
She's
But
very tight, isn't
you've
she?
just got to be careful if you're trying to make numbers when you play these shots that you keep your bowl behind
for
and
sure
on the
you do.
green.
Well, you being the top player that you are, and always have been since I've known you, you would know these things. Josh Fisher and Dave Williams are leading 18 against Wally Clyden and Kerry Elliott 14, and that's after 18 ends. Now, the game between John Newell and Jason Moore, John Newell and Jason Moore have won 23-10 over Jason Walford and Mitch Stiles. That game is completed. Let me just come back to, before I give you the results of the other 2.
Now, Lorella's put a bowl in a very handy position behind with her first. She's coming down with her second now.
She's going to be wide. But she couldn't care about that.
She wants to stay on the green.
Well, she does, but I mean, anything back behind is going, because you can rest assured that that Barbara McDonald's, whoever's ready to play, I think it's...
Well, actually, her bowl, you
Margaret.
can't see it on the screen, but that second bowl of Lorella's come to rest between the 2 back bowls.
Okay, well, then she'd be very happy with that, wouldn't she?
Of Wendy.
I'll just give you the updates here with the
Barbara.
men. Nathan Rice and Andrew Howie are 22, leading John Martin and Craig Hall 16, and that's on 20 ends. So they've only got one more end to play, and it might already be completed. We're not sure, but we'll certainly let you know. And the other one, the final game, was that Chris Forbes and Jay Singh were leading Darren Stanley and Roberto Capelli 18-16, and that was after 19 ends. So that's the latest update in the men's competition.
Just going under the head and again finishing next to her skip's first bowl.
Okay.
So what you do try to do when you're trying to make numbers and the opposition's got bowls close is try and get a number of your bowls together in an area behind the head, somewhere where perhaps the skip can convert to and make the numbers there.
Well, Lorelle's holding 2 shots, so she doesn't have to go anywhere near it, does she, really?
No, she's covering. She's be
covering
what's there.
And she doesn't care
behind.
less what happens because, I don't mean that literally. I mean, she does, but she doesn't have to, she doesn't have to get anywhere close to, because she's already holding 2. It's up to the Taroom ladies to create something here.
Absolutely.
Now, there's somebody's asking a question here. Well done to Jason and Mitch. Great effort. Now, Donna Townsend saying, are the Bribey Island girls here? Yes, indeed they are, Donna. And we have from Bribey Yolanta Ackroyd and Annie Studd.
Yeah, and they're currently leading 20.
They were the last time we looked.
Yes, 20-something. We've got the poll in the way.
It was
20-something to 16.
They were about 23, or 22. The 22-16 from what we can see. 26, is it, Robbie?
No, 16.
Oh, the 20 ends. So they're
on
about 6 shots ahead with 1 end to go. Donna, that's your Bribey Island girls. Oh, they're 10 ahead. Oh, well, okay. Well, it's game over.
26-16.
Well, it's game over. Why are they playing the last
They
end?
have to. It's
Oh, do
sectional
they?
play.
Oh, okay.
And
It all terms of margins, yeah, that's fair enough.
And the the winners of each section go on to play the gold medal match, and the second place
Yep.
in each section go on to
Go
play
and
the bronze medal match.
Yep. So
there's
margins do come into it
absolutely,
when
and
you're sorting
there's
out
everything
sections.
to play for right
Yeah.
till the last game.
Of course. Silly me. So Lorelle Hofstetter, she's staying as far away from this head as she can, and who would blame her?
Yep.
And here come. Oh, this might alter things a bit. What's going on here? Oh, what a lovely shot!
What a good
What
shot.
a gorgeous shot. She didn't quite get the shot though. Unfortunately, Barb, but it was a magnificent attempt. And the ladies from
Elliott Heads.
Elliott Heads have grabbed another shot, so they've ended up winning the match 22-17.
Well, what a fantastic game.
Absolutely.
That was.
I just said to Robbie and Jim before that we don't have any control over what match we bring you, but it just happened to be the one that was the closest, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Across all the rinks. 20. The Gateway girls, Debbie and Glennis, is still leading 22-11.
On 19 ends.
19 ends.
The Mackay girls, that game is finished.
Yeah, well, they've won that if the score's been updated 2015.
Yeah, I don't know whether they updated that
No,
score,
I don't
'cause
think
that
they
still
did.
says 20,
20
ends,
ends,
but I
yeah,
believe
so
they
we
did win.
Anyway, the Mackay girls have won that. We'll shut this down, Robbie. Yeah, okay. Folks, we're thanking you very much for your attendance, and don't forget we'll be back later this afternoon for round 2, which will be a men's game, and I believe it'll start around about 1 o'clock. On behalf of us here at North Toowoomba, we say, and thanks, Chrissy.
Oh, thanks, Gary.
We say good afternoon, or good morning, and we'll be back with you about 1 o'clock.